Back to the show.
Sting's retiring.
Sting,
the wrestler, not the musician.
Oh.
The wrestler, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that instead of Danner.
Okay. Yeah.
Danner's here, happy to have him.
I'll
see y'all
But
later.
Sting is retiring.
I mean, totally
Welcome. Let's talk about something unrelated.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing though, because he's I don't know what the prime age for a wrestler is, but it's in his 30s
He's
probably,
definitely got to be in his 50s.
or like
I
25.
think he's in
is
his
like-
60s.
Oh my God!
Get
really?
out of here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There's electricians in my trade that are like 90 working still, and it blows me away. I'm like, I hope I can move at 90. Not
64.
alone, like I hope my heart's working.
64.
He's almost. Dad's like 4 years older than him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Thos could do it.
No.
He would just be the gas man.
Yeah.
The garbage man. Yeah, there's no way. I couldn't do it. I got to thinking about that. I asked her, I was like, you think I can join the military now? Like in my 30s? You can, but I don't think I could do it in like 34. There's no way. Could you fucking join the military right now?
No, I couldn't have done it when I was a kid,
That's
though.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I've always
No.
been a piece of shit.
I went back to play softball. It was stupid. I went to go play a game of softball when I was like 28, and I played ball all through my childhood. And I was like, oh, I got this in the bag. Like, it's softball. This is for lame people who play softball.
Yeah, girls.
Yeah,
Yes.
fucking girls.
And surprisingly, it was very hard to hit a softball in the way they throw it, you know? Because I'm so used to baseball.
Because you're
It's a different
not a
throw.
girl.
Yeah.
You know,
Not a
you can do anything but hit the easiest ball to hit.
Absolutely. That's the worst. I thought for sure, I was like, I'm going to knock this out of the park and look like a champ. And, you know, maybe I tapped it a couple times. That's about it.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much. Tap, tap,
Over
tap.
here taking engines apart and rebuilding them and can't
They're
hit
called
a
Native
softball.
Americans.
See what you did.
Heyo.
No, but welcome back, Danny.
Yo.
I wanted to
dude.
ask you a question because I'm going to put it out there on the podcast. How
Put it
old
out
are you?
there. I am about to be 40. I'm 39.
So right at 39. Are you 39?
I'm 40, bitch.
You're at 40.
I'm a man.
I was
40.
I was sitting there wondering
Practice.
because I remember you saying that you were coming up on 40, but I thought this last birthday was 40, and I didn't know how old you were. But I did have a question because Couch is around about the same age too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever think in high school that the people you were hanging out with, you were actually going to be friends in like 30s, 40s? Did you think that?
Yes.
I probably didn't give it much consideration.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, these people are cool. And
Yeah,
then
it just
stopped
worked
there.
out.
Yeah.
I always assumed I'd be friends with all my friends for eternity, and I only
Yeah.
talk to one of them now.
I was committed to never letting them go.
Yeah. No,
And then
it's
some of them I figured, fuck them, but yeah, we're going to keep doing.
Yeah.
it's odd to, that doesn't usually happen. Usually it's like after high school, you even the friends you make after high school don't really stick around in your older ages. Like when you're 60 and 70 and shit, like maybe your war buddy that like held your hand while you were bleeding out and like got you back to base and stuff. Yeah, you're going to be friends with that guy, but
Yeah.
I assume
Yeah.
Katie will be around forever.
yeah.
And nobody else, which I robbed everybody else. Well, I robbed her too.
That's right.
but-
But she probably robbed you back.
yeah, but
so
she
that's
got
good.
it, so
Yeah.
it was fine. She was like, "I've been there."
I used to think about it because my dad and his best friend are still friends today, and they're like family. They've been around so long, and I always looked at this one friend I have. I'm like, "You're gonna be my brother," like,
Right.
and it's not really like that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm literally your brother now.
Dude, absolutely
Accept
the
me.
truth. Like,
You know-
I think about the family I do have, and you're definitely the brother that I never had. That's like gay to say. I understand that,
Yeah.
but yeah, the brother you want, I didn't have, and you were the brother. So yeah, I don't know what that
That's
would
fine.
consist
I'm
of
just
for
breaking your
friends.
balls.
but-
Don't be gay about it.
Yeah,
I
I know I got pretty
always-
sentimental. I'm gonna take it back.
And
love that,
I've
buddy.
always considered Ian a friend. Sometimes I forget he's my brother because
Yeah.
we're just so close. I'm like, that's my
Yeah.
friend.
That's my friend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have I guess so it's like you, Ian, Couch, and I guess I know the rest of their names, but I can't think
There's
of them on the spot. Ingle, Omen,
Yeah,
and
Benji.
Benji?
I wasn't going to help. I was
Matt-tastic?
just going to see how long it could go.
Yeah. I was trying to get them all.
How many of Danner's friends do you know?
Matt Tastic? Mm-hmm. Are you all buddies in that group as well? Or
I'm friends with him. I'm probably not as close as Ian would be.
D's
with
not in that
Fantastic.
group.
yeah. Well, see, I
We
wonder.
don't accept him.
You're
Yeah.
not welcome.
Unacceptable.
Stay in your lane.
Right.
It's, I always wonder. I don't think I'll have any of those people that I was friends with in high school actually be meaningful. You know, because all those people were like, "We're gonna back you up," and then like when shit got tough, they were like, "What? We are not strong enough."
God,
So-
you know my family's just consuming all my time.
Yeah.
Can I get my engine parts back?
Give them back to me. And then I guess it's about Tanner. I'm sorry. No, but welcome back to the show. We're very, very happy to hear you. I was going to go on a long, drawn-out thing, but it's very good to see you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely the only comments that I like to read. No, I'm just joking. There are some catches. There are other comments. I'm just saying. You do comment, and
Are
it makes
there?
you think.
Right.
I like it. Every now and then.
Okay.
Not always.
Mostly they're just going like, "Who's that Ian guy? Why is he allowed to talk?"
Why would I not be?
And then timestamps. I like the timestamps.
I stopped doing those.
I know. That's
You're an
sad.
asshole.
He does them now.
No, I'm just tired of me.
You're an asshole.
I'm so tired of this.
You're the only part worth time stamping.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch the show if I'm not going to watch it for me.
That's right.
I'm off it.
You know, I don't think I'd mind it too much if I was a musician or something or a movie.
You
Person?
are a musician.
Movie
Well,
person.
you know, somebody who's like
You have
the shit's
videos.
playing all the time. I wouldn't like actively watch it like once upon a time in Hollywood when he comes home and he's watching it on his couch. But I wouldn't mind if somebody's watching around me and shit. But because I'm very insecure, and when I'm watching the podcast, it really doesn't bug me. I don't tear myself apart like I normally do with everything else. But I don't know what that is.
Oh, I always tear myself apart after a podcast.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Like go back and fucking wonder why I
Well, I mean, you
that
should,
was
but
fucking
why does
stupid.
Adam?
I don't know. Probably for the same reason though. It's because insecurities.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah. But,
Oddly enough, I don't usually bother myself in the podcast, which
Oh,
is
you-
weird.
Oh, look at
Definitely
me!
should.
I'm well-rounded. Oh.
Well, when I always carried a camera around with me everywhere, and I hated me. I was so mad when I would listen to videos. I'm like, why do I fucking talk? Why do I say these things?
Marry
But,
him.
but it doesn't bother me so much anymore.
yeah. Maybe that comes with getting older. I don't know. My
No.
insecurities follow the shit out of
It
me.
comes with being cool.
Oh come
I'm
on.
cool, man.
Say
One
it's
time
cool.
we were. This is where this gets you. I'll tell you where that gets you. That mindset. We were on our honeymoon, and it was like the last night before we were leaving the next morning. And Sarah was getting drunk at the bar,
Yeah.
and I was not so drunk at the time. Like I'll give you, I was a pretty emotional guy. You know, I was a bitch, but. She got drunk and she kept telling me that like she was a cute white girl. She could do whatever she wanted, and I can drink this like bottle of vodka that we brought to the place in the middle of the dance floor and not give it. She's like, nobody's gonna say anything to me. You remember that? Well, I don't know if you remember.
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking she's right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I did it. No one
hell
said
yeah.
anything.
Nobody said anything. I was blown away.
Dude.
I was like, maybe she is right, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's luck. I'm not sure.
Gary got kicked out of a bar a couple weeks ago because he brought his own little bottles of Fireball.
Yeah.
And they threw him out.
Yeah, I've
That's
always
awesome.
taken my own shit places. Put
Yeah.
it in your boot, and there you go.
Put it in your boot.
Costs less money.
It does.
Boot, boot.
Now that you all have kids, do you drink at home at all? Like, do you all ever have
No.
wine or
No.
really? Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like because of my dad.
Yeah.
Who's an alcoholic, but I've just since I don't know, maybe 25, 26, maybe
Yeah.
28, just really fell off drinking.
Nice. It's not a bad. I mean, is there?
Yeah, no.
You don't even
I'll
keep
still have a
anything in the
beer
house.
now and again, but
Yeah.
I mean, we may have something, but it's probably just leftover shit from something else.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I thought I would be like a casual drinker, like drinking beer and everything. The minute I stopped hanging out with people that were like, you know, go to the bar on the weekend or get together,
Yeah.
it ended. It was like
Yeah.
I looked at her. I'm like, you know, we haven't been out. To, you know, even a get together, a gathering for a while, and it was like, well, those friends I always felt like obligated to have a
Right.
beer with them, you know. And then I'm the type I'm like, well, I gotta have like 2 more
Yeah.
than the one,
Yeah.
so 3 if you were counting.
I haven't drank since Couch's wedding. I got hammered.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got loaded.
it was good. Yeah, I was real fun.
Emotional
I ended up puking
breakdown
myself.
because I
Actually.
gave the best
Oh,
man
yeah.
speech, the worst best man speech of all time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
I
Oh
actually,
Appreciate
no,
it.
no, it was bad.
Are you getting? I would say,
I
yeah.
don't
Do
even
you know about
remember it.
memory?
Basically, I took like the Robert Shaw Jaws speech where he's talking about how he'll catch him and kill him for 10, and I adapted it to talking about him and how I don't know. It was bad. It was real bad.
Ian mentioned incest in ours.
Yeah. So.
At least that was funny.
yeah.
Nobody knew what I
I
was
know.
talking about.
And you probably
I
put a lot of
started
thought
with,
in.
y'all know me. Y'all know what I do for a living. And it just went from there. And like, I just
that's
saw,
good.
I saw the eyes,
Oh, that's so good.
and I saw like people just
Like,
kind
what
of
the-
sit back and
What the fuck is this guy doing?
right.
I'm
And
like, I'm in it now. I gotta do
30,
it.
40 seconds in, I was like, fuck it. I went to the phone. I read it as fast as I could, and then I just disappeared.
It's amazing. I wish I remembered that.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I had like a cape for a shirt and a
Shut up.
small ass coat jacket that didn't really fit. Yeah, and Ian got to wear a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Did
was a good
anyone
time.
record it?
Yeah, they had it recorded.
Oh, I need to hear it
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
find
They have it.
too.
Couch and
Find
have
it and then we'll put it up as extra content.
Yeah, but you,
Yes.
Because we're
Look,
just gonna
you-
steal Danner's life and turn it into our page.
you put thought into that though, right? Like you
little bit,
built
yeah,
it and stuff,
yeah.
or was it just on a whim?
No, I mean I knew like that was one of his favorite movies. I knew like
Oh yeah,
just shifting it would be kind of funny. He says he loved it. I think he loved that I was so embarrassed about it more than the actual.
Oh, it was just the
speech.
cherry on top.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's pretty solid when it comes to references and shit.
Right.
So
yeah, he would.
he
know.
loved it.
Yeah,
Couch, if you loved it, put it in the comments or
Yeah,
give us
let
a
us
call.
know.
Whatever
He
you
would-
do.
he
Call
would
me
know,
right
but it
now.
wouldn't.
I'm waiting.
Bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. I was I was chasing her around because I was wondering. I was like, I don't know if I've seen any of that part of the wedding where the reception and things. Because every time she would leave my side, I'd be like, all right, I think you need to slow down because you're probably puke later or whatever. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not bossy. I'm just saying that it might be a good. And she was like, yeah, you're probably right. And I would like turn around for a second and she'd be like off like in a room with, and I think at one point, Ingle was in there like fucking drunk, passed out. And she's over there like sneaking the bottom, like, you okay?
Yeah, dude. I think I brought him food too. I was
Yeah.
trying to get him to eat. I don't think he ever ate.
Yeah, she was trying her best, but it was funny, man. She kept going, and then she felt fucking awful on the way home.
I've
I was
always
like,
felt
"Oh."
bad about that because we were both really excited to go and have a good time, and I got like unreasonably drunk, and he was like running errands and
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah,
It was good
I
though.
always felt bad about it.
That sounds fun though.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a good time for sure, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I was an
Puking.
asshole.
puking in a Kroger bag on the way home.
Yeah, I have that dress. It's the one I wore when he proposed, and it's got puke stain on it right here. It's so disappointing. It'll never come out.
Yeah, it was a good dress. It was a good dress.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. That's and I remember your wedding. Like, yeah, I remember all of them. I've been to. That's crazy. I've been to everybody here and Couch's
Yeah,
wedding.
that
Weird.
that
Not
chick
been to none
at
of
his
my
wedding
family.
guessed your dick size just by looking at you.
Oh yeah, dude, that was
Yeah.
weird. I was like, that is a
She was
talent.
like spot on. It was
Yeah.
wild.
Somewhere I have a like an
No
image
idea.
of her. There's like a picture of her on one of your all's pages. Or no, it's on that. I have a hard drive with it on
Yeah.
there, and I don't even know her name. She
It
was
the
like
chick
a
with
blonde.
glasses, right? Or was
I'm
it the
not
other
sure.
one?
It might have. I don't think she had glasses.
I don't
It
think
was
she
probably-
has. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was like overtly just like, you got such and such dick size, and I'm like, I'd like to refute this, but it's not. I mean, if she might be like half a centimeter off, I'm not sure. But I was like, that is good. Like, if you could market that, that would be good. If you could turn that into a profitable skill, I don't know how, but
There's
she
a
could have
way,
an
though.
OnlyFans and never get naked. Just guess dude's dick size.
Yeah.
You could
pay
just
me
hang out
$20
at bars and like whenever
Yeah.
people like hitting on other people, you just come up, hey, $5, I'll tell you what this guy's really packing.
Yeah, women could hire for their first date to see if they even want to fuck around with the guy.
Yeah, dude.
They're like,
For 20, I'll tell you what STDs he has.
I can smell them.
That'd be awesome if she could guess that.
Yeah, that chick
Great.
was pretty impressive. Only in one way. The rest of it, I was like, oh yeah.
And she
Don't
was
worry
just
about it.
annoyingly drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
That's
that
cool.
was that was that was a good wedding. It was a party for sure.
Yeah.
Your dad was drinking. Everybody's drinking. Everybody happy and healthy.
And now we'll never see another wedding again.
I know it makes you wonder if we should all just go and
I
get
know.
married again,
Yeah.
like to the same person, but like just have a get together.
At our 10-year, we'll have people over and just get drunk in the backyard.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
keg.
This year's our 10-year.
Really
Damn!
Oh my
10-year
gosh.
married.
Yep.
Holy shit! Yeah, it goes back quick, huh?
Well, we need to do it for yours then sooner.
I guess we knew that because that was like one of the first things we did when when
Yeah.
I was off vacation and home and shit, and then you got married soon after. So yeah, damn, 10 years and we've been together. Fuck me, time, dude. I look back at images just of you two. I was looking on a hard drive and I was like, oh my god, like you look like children, and I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we on this path? There should be a point where we're allowed to kill ourselves.
There is.
Is it always, or is it
Always.
just
You can
At any
always do
point.
it. Yeah. It's a personal choice.
at any point? Yeah, yeah. I wish there was probably a better way to go. I don't think there is. I think we're all scared to die, though. I think
That's a stupid
don't mind.
thought.
you're scared to die,
You're
though.
a
No.
stupid
If it
thought.
was coming down
Maybe.
to it, and you were grasping on for breath and shit, you'd be like, I don't think I want to die.
No, I don't want to die slowly and painfully, but it's inevitable.
That's the one I don't want. I don't want slow and painful.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
How you want to die?
I don't know.
Slow and painful.
I like the
A
drawn
really
out
big
ass.
It depends on
sword
if I have a
in
choice.
and then out. And
Yeah.
If I don't have a
bleed
choice,
to
I don't
death.
have a choice, so it doesn't matter. But if I have a choice, I'd either want to go out causing a lot of havoc,
Yeah.
or just just like, everybody's good. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
out of
done.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just read my dad told me a story about a
You don't
guy
want to
with.
know how I want to die?
Oh, I know how you want to die. Floating off into outer space. Yeah, just like in a suit, floating.
I do.
Yeah.
Or drugs, of course.
Oh, drugs,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that one's more realistic.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
not
my
going to
thought,
space.
yeah. Die just all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're-
that's
Just drift to
a,
sleep.
a guy. He was married to this girl for I don't know how long. He wasn't that old. He was like 30, 39, in between 30 and 39. And just one night, they come home from the bar and he looked at his wife and he was like, I'm tired of living. I'm like tired of like doing this life. And she was like, oh, whatever. And he went upstairs and blew his brains out.
Why not
Didn't
just
even
say
think
he's in
about
his
it.
30s?
Yeah, I could have said that. Yeah.
I could-
Because I know that I was told the age, and then I felt bad I couldn't remember because he's dead.
Why are you upset about the age that he gave?
The way he described it, it was just...
It was very drawn out. Yeah.
He was somewhere between 30 and 39.
Ah!
I mean,
Too much
30,
shy of
39,
39.
How dare you give that much detail?
I don't want to have to think about
50
it.
maybe. That's yeah. And I thought about that. How cool that would be if you could just make the decision, just like you all were talking about the guy that set himself on fire. Now the comments were calling this dude crazy a little bit.
That dude was not crazy.
I don't think he was either.
No.
Thank you.
He was very
Vindicated.
well thought out. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and why he wanted to do it, and he succeeded in doing that.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch the full video?
Hell yeah.
All the way to
Can
when
I-
it dropped.
Can I help
Yeah.
you, sir? Can I help you, sir?
Like,
click, click.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
that-
good times.
at first I was like, okay, whatever. But then, man, just something about it, just whew, that dude knew what he was doing. The
Hell
dude
yeah.
has like social media posts and like a 2-minute thing right before he does it. Dude knew what he was doing. There was
Hell
nothing
yeah.
mentally wrong with him.
I don't think so.
That
Yeah,
is-
right away.
That is a historic form of protest that he chose to
Exactly.
partake in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went out like a fucking G.
I'm
Stood
a
for like a
Buddhist.
full minute.
Yeah, I know. That was
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, the amount of time he stood up, I was like, "There's no way I'd
would-
drop immediately."
If I set myself on fire, I'd do it and lay down. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not standing the whole time.
I
know that.
think I'd stand, but before I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But I started a fire last night. We have like one of those 4-hour logs, you know? And I put cardboard under it because I thought, hey, this will help it, you know, more flames. But it just didn't let the fire get under it. So
Oh,
if you
yeah.
lay down, your back's not going to burn.
Oh,
And then,
you're right.
you know,
yeah.
you're doomed. So, yeah. Stand up!
That was one way forensically that they can tell if the body had been dead before the fire was started, because they roll the body over, and if the skin is intact on the back and there's a spot on the ground, they're like, oh, well, that person was alive or dead beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's always a weird one. But I think the most egregious part of that video is the cop that initially like runs up with his gun drawn at the guy that's on fire.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna shoot it out or whatever.
Initially, I was with you, but at the same time, like, okay, so you got a guy that's so self-dedicated, he's going to set himself on fire. He could have a weapon. Likely it wouldn't be one that he could use, but he could have a weapon, and if he's still on the ground, he's determined enough, he could pull it and try to shoot
Yeah,
you.
and you don't
I
know
could see
why
that.
he
So I
set
don't-
himself
I
on
don't-
fire.
I don't fully
Oh.
buy the whole, like, that's just cop mentality, cops are idiots, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
No.
That aside, they probably are, and he probably was gun happy. But
I get to shoot a
with that-
flaming dude.
in a situation where a
Big day.
dude's committing
Bucket
self-harm
list.
and a sense of urgency could cause somebody to draw
Yeah.
the weapon.
Yeah.
I
My thought was,
understand.
I'm with you on the same thing. I had the thought of like, oh, fucking pig, you know.
Yeah.
But then instead of that, though, I pictured it like in Fallout, you know, when you have like the suicide bomber mutants.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking it's like I don't want this guy to run at me and like
Yeah.
bear hug me into flames.
Hell
Right.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Shit.
on the ground by that time, but yeah.
You never know
He
when he's
could
gonna
roll
get
at
up.
you.
Yeah, dude.
Don't roll at me.
Coming.
Yeah.
Put two in his belly. He's rolling.
Didn't one of the officers or the EMS guy or whatever they were yell back at him like, I don't need guns.
I need
an
a fire
extinguisher."
extinguisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
He
telling.
emptied the first one. He was like, I need a fire extinguisher. It's like,
Put the
why
gun
didn't
away.
why didn't you put him out while he was standing?
Yeah, if I ever set myself on fire, fellas, ladies, let me burn to death until I stop moving.
Hell yeah.
Don't fucking revive me.
No.
Don't revive me.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, yeah, because you're gonna die. Guaranteed, you're dying.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a matter
Slower
of
now.
when.
He held on. I think it said like 10 hours.
Yeah, dude.
God damn.
Yeah, he was going.
I hope he wasn't
assume
conscious for that. though.
They would put him in a coma.
Thank God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a rough one, but you seen it, and in the way that he like lit the fire, there was no hesitation. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dedication.
He had to do it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And
There
as a
was time to
result, there's
quit.
peace in Gaza.
Yeah. No,
Right?
Too bad.
That'd be badass.
I love the message, man. And it's sad people,
You ass.
I think there's like plants when it comes to Reddit and shit. There's plants that put those messages out and they make him look like he's the bad one in the situation.
Well, the thing is, also because of him, I heard about the Dallas journalist that did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like maybe a month or two ago or something like that. She did the same thing. She set herself on fire.
Oh, that's
in
why nobody
process.
knew.
The fuck out.
She was a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexist.
No one
bastard.
cares what she
Yeah,
does.
Dude, that's
Yeah, see, she's backing it up.
Yeah. They're like, if she's not hot, I don't give a fuck.
Is she hot? Make the judgment call, D. Don't you pull that
I
I've
never
got a
saw a
wife
picture.
card.
I never
Okay,
saw a picture.
that's fair.
I didn't know there was another person. I'll have to.
Yeah,
look
Dallas
into it.
journalist. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
What was her message?
Same thing.
Oh, really?
Palestine.
I feel like they
Well,
should just
good.
gather a bunch of people, like at least 180.
Do a group flame.
And yeah, they just do a group thing, but like do it in Gaza. You know, it's like, hey, you motherfuckers want a war? Well, you better put this fire out, bitch.
They'd just bomb them and be done.
Clear 'em out.
That whole situation is odd. And it's odd that, it's clearly like, it's almost like a genocide of a people. And they're practically doing what Hitler did in a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're killing people
Yeah.
for their belief their belief, really, when it comes down to it. So, I don't know, man. And it's so sad that it's in the name of some religion, really.
Always.
You know, it's a battle over the Holy Land.
It'd be better if it was over the color of their skin or something.
No, at least
Something
that's based in
normal.
Something
reality.
reasonable.
Yeah, dude, that is
Yeah.
based
Beliefs
in
are
reality.
crazy, but look at that guy.
Yeah.
Just look at him.
It's fucking nuts to me.
Can't we all
man.
just agree butter goes on top of toast, not on the bottom?
That's
No.
the
Yeah.
thing.
I think we can.
Does it go on the
No.
bottom ever?
No, it doesn't.
It was an old Dr. Seuss book.
Ah,
Well, I mean, if it's the top piece of toast, then yeah, it goes on the bottom. But
nobody wants that top piece.
But you
Only
still
one
butter
piece
it
of
upright.
toast.
So it's like buttering
it's
the
one
top.
piece of
You just
toast.
flip it upside down.
I'm not flipping it.
Oh, you're flipping it.
If somebody would have told you when you were like, this is the thing that I don't like about being a human, is the fact that nobody asked us. I think, okay, people
You
have.
don't know that.
I know.
right.
People have these NDEs, and
You
when they
don't
come
know
back,
that he doesn't know.
they
That's
express
I
that
don't know
they
what
met.
you're talking about.
They met that higher power, if you will. They describe it as just like just absolute light and love and joy, right? And when they come back, they were like, "Oh, we all picked our parents that we were born into, and we picked just the life that we would have had." They had options, and they asked us when we were spiritual beings, did we want to feel all of these emotions like anger, hate, love, all that stuff, pain, everything. And we got to pick that. And you got to pick who your family was. You got to meet them before you ever were born into the family, right? But then it's like, okay, well, I like that sentiment. But the fucked up thing is when it's shitty or too much to take, now it's illegal to fucking kill myself and restart. Like, can't I go back to the spiritual world and pick again? I fucked up.
Yeah, you can. If you
Yeah.
want.
It's only a crime if you fail.
So, like,
Absolutely.
get
It's
to
the
pick
only
your
way
parents.
that they can.
That's what
in
it
this
is.
scenario.
That's
right?
what they say. Yeah.
So,
a
like,
lot of
your parents got to pick their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So when they picked their parents, they also picked you as a child. Is that what you're saying?
ooh.
Because like you, how long is
sounds
this
interesting.
wait period?
Yeah.
This wait list that
I
we're
don't-
going through. Like, okay, I want you and you're all my parents, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be like my brother,
Well-
and then like this guy over here is gonna be like my great grandson.
I'd like to think
And then
that
his child is going to be Steven.
that kind of
Wait
stuff
down the
isn't
hall.
willy nilly. D.
That
It's a
does make me
giant
wonder.
plan. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume like you pick like one thing and then their stuff is picked and their stuff is picked and it just plays out how it plays out.
But like, if you know your parents, you have to wait for them to be fully born.
Yeah.
So you have to wait a lifetime. You're just sitting up there doing nothing.
I would
Yeah, but
assume
when-
there's no concept of time in this.
Yeah, when you're
area.
just
Yeah,
a
it's
loving
like-
light, time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A lot
We're
of
not
them
watching the
I
clock.
want to come out of that
Look,
one.
When the fuck is lunch?
I will say that's another commonality is the fact they describe time as non-existent and like they are part of time and their spatial matter or whatever they're in. All is just one and they're floating, free floating, and everything's like telepathic in a certain sense where you can feel what other people are saying and things like that.
You're
but
like fart.
I'll give you this. Another one
From
is
Rick and Morty.
for women who have had a what is it called? When the baby doesn't become
Miscarriage.
a baby, miscarriage, right?
Abortion.
A lot of them meet the baby that they had in their NDE, and they meet it at a time whenever it was like I don't know what age, but old enough that they could tell its features and things like that, and they know it's that their kid that died. And a lot of them describe that, like if they had somebody lost in the family and stuff, they got to meet them, especially like those. And then women who have had abortions also say that they met their child that they were supposed to have, and you know, who's to say? I think that's like one of those things that's up in the air. Who knows,
Yeah.
you know? But it is interesting.
Yeah, dude.
Other than that, though, I'm saying, like, it's fucked up that we don't, you know, like, I know that they can say that we chose, but even that, I'm like, fuck you. I didn't choose this. Like,
Well, I think of it, whenever you were saying that, I was thinking about it in terms of McCamey Manor. So we're like, you know, we signed the paperwork.
Right.
We read the paperwork. We just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we come down here. Because, I mean, I could see where it's like, let's say we have fucking like virtual reality stuff. And it's like, okay, you're going to think it's real. You're going to get in there. You're going to be in there for 2 hours. What do you want to have happen? Do you want to be tortured to death? Yeah, I want to know what that's like without actually getting tortured to death. And while you're getting tortured, you're like, I didn't ask for this. And they're like, yeah, you did, bitch.
yeah, I didn't know it was going to be
Yes.
like this.
You
Absolutely.
went back to the paper company?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it could be that. I mean, it could be really anything because none of us know, which is, I think that's probably the scariest part about like passing away is like the fact that it's absolute and we don't know anything about it. We've taken
Can't do
guesses
anything
and
about
shit.
it.
Yeah. I don't think Christianity is the answer. I don't think that Buddhism is. I don't think none
I'll
of.
tell that to Jesus.
I know the closest thing I would say is Hinduism.
I don't speak Arabic.
I've thought
You
very
will.
seriously about studying
Yeah.
Hinduism just because they don't really have a set belief in a god or whatever. They speak of something that we all pray to or all the thing that makes everything, but they never call it somebody. They never call it anything, and it's never somebody. It's never, you have to pray to it or anything, but they just preach about being good and love people and be kind and shit like that. Like that's the closest thing to.
There were some extreme differences, but it was very similar to Buddhism, from
Yeah.
what I remember.
That's
Okay,
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
because I was
Buddhism.
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 I was wondering, I guess I don't know. Do Buddhists pray to Buddha? Are they just like that's a symbol of joy and
He's like
Symbol
their,
of
abundance?
yeah.
Okay.
He's like their guidance.
Oh, okay.
And they don't really
Well, I could do
pray
that.
so much as they meditate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty enjoyable. I
Which
was
is
all the
also
way.
essentially prayer.
Yeah, I was all the way out in Shepherdsville, like
better.
deep into Shepherdsville, where I never thought was Shepherdsville. It was like country. I lost phone signal, everything. I'm driving, and on my right, I mean, you're talking about people who have like trailers with all their kids' toys in the front lawn and refrigerators and couches and shit. And I mean, country. And there was a Buddhist temple out in the middle of this nowhere country. I was like, holy shit. And these
Interesting.
people are like, can you believe what moved in next door? You know what I mean? Fucking, but I guess it's okay because it's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
It's
This
surprising.
tubby Asian statue with his titties out.
Oh, shit. Have some respect.
Maybe they all go. I
It
guess
would be
my dog-
fucking great if they did. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
None of them are like
I don't
Christian.
fucking understand anything, but
Yeah.
here
I
am.
like sitting here in silence, away from my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
I think about that though, man. I think that's the craziest thing because I've always wanted off the train, And I don't think that it's not so much getting off the train that scares me. It's what's waiting off the train. You know what I mean? Like
Nothing.
I know, dude. Do you think it's just nothing? Like you think just fucking lights out, never anything again?
No, I'm just saying, like, with the idea of getting off the train, the whole idea, like, the Buddhist shit with, like, the cycle of birth and death. You're on the hamster wheel. Once you get off, it's not like, oh, I'm into second life. It's like you get off.
Yeah.
You're
The
off.
end. Yeah.
But see, this is one thing I do know. In Buddhism, right, it's about enlightenment. So if you don't obtain enlightenment within the lifetime that you're living currently, you have to repeat life again. And you have to keep going until you gain enlightenment. And then you're off the hamster wheel. And you can be one of the, like, eternal whatever in the ether, I guess. So what do how do I know if I gain enlightenment?
You already are that thing in the ether.
Ooh. Maybe that's a game that they play with us. It's like you have to obtain this. Maybe that's where they got it wrong,
It's more of a play. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of a game. It's like hide and seek.
Gameplay.
Gameplay.
It's complicated.
It is. I don't know why it has
Yeah,
to
we're
be so.
comparing it to a child's game.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think that's what some of the perspective of it is, because I think Maya means play or illusion or some shit like that.
Oh.
But it all comes together, There's no architecture. There's just, it's a play. It's a performative thing, and you're doing a dance for yourself because you are the thing that
Yeah.
is doing the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I have a problem with. I take on a lot of shit. I build a lot of dumb things. I, participate in like making stuff on the computer and shit.
You
And
build cool shit.
all of it I'm fucking interested in. I fucking love doing shit like that. The minute like 9 o'clock rolls around, 10 o'clock, whatever time we end up going to bed, which is, or eating,
Usually,
because
yeah.
right after eating, we go to bed. It fucking like, I get this like rush of intense like depression and anger and pain. because the day's over. I know that tomorrow's going to be just the same. There's nothing going to be different in the sense that I can do a few things with the time given, but the obtaining things is within a restriction, right? So every night, dude, you guys here, I get fucking intensely depressed. I'm like, I always ask her, I'm like, what the fuck is the point? Like, there actually is no point. Even if you said, like, it's to make your own, your own reason for why we're here, your own purpose, if you will. It doesn't. That's bullshit too. That's just another bullshit example of the things that we do for purpose. Right? It's that we're constrained.
But
to
that could be
stupid
the reason.
Fucking time. Maybe.
That doesn't matter.
It's all existential.
Right.
So you hear the 40-year-old midlife crisis crap that essentially boils down to what you're describing. A lot of people find comfort in knowing that there will be an end goal. A lot of people find comfort in the journey to a goal, whether it's real or not. It kind of plays into what you're talking about with the dancing for yourself. It's all about creating for yourself meaning in what you do, whether it's a goal or the ride. That's how most people get through the day. Some people are able to step back and just accept whether it means something or whether it doesn't. In the moment, it brought me joy, or my perception of what it caused was meaningful enough for me to keep doing it.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I think if I could get rid of the cynicism, that'd be a lot better.
That's the struggle. To me, that's kind of the whole point. The existential point is the struggle to maintain the positive view or the negative view. Yeah. And that's kind of what dictates where you go with your life.
It's a rough one.
It's like that nihilism meme, where it's like nothing matters. It's like nothing matters, or it's like nothing matters.
Yeah. Because I get thinking about. I think the thing that bugs me is I like to do so much, but I know pretty much in general the only one of the things that I do, if I don't create something just like magnificent, is just gonna be for me and the people I show. But when it comes to electric, like I know it makes me a living, but I know that I'm probably given like my family background and then just my life decisions, things, probably not gonna have a lot when I get older and die, and I'm definitely probably not gonna retire like a lot of us, So I think that's what bugs me, because I don't think I want to be rich and like money and all this, but it just sucks that you can want to do so much, be constrained by time. And then they, of course, your society plays a game with you the entire time. But it's just, I don't know, it makes you wonder, like, what the fuck? Why even? And your body diminishes, your energy diminishes as you go. So even if you had all the cocaine in the world, it wouldn't matter because your heart's going to give out because you're old as shit now. And it's like, I watched that guy that we have as a customer, and he can't walk, he can't move and all this stuff, but he's so fucking intelligent, dude. And all he has is his mind now. That's the only thing that hasn't left him. And I told her, I was like, I don't know what I would do if I couldn't, like, something, like, turn a screwdriver or build something just little. I don't know, man. It really gets to me because I'm like, what the fuck was the point for him? Or I got another one that died. He was, 49, 50, and he dies. And he was intelligent as fuck. He was an engineer. He was, he was a lot of things, and you can tell his wife's fucking mad at that. She's like, what was the point? You give him all these like goals and skills and all this shit, and then you kill him off at 49, 50. What are we doing this for?
Well, there was no point.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's the battle.
Yeah.
Maybe the point was her misery.
No, there was no point. That's like taking the logic of everything good is God, everything bad is the devil. It just no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Always
not everything bad is the devil. It's
right. Bad shit happens.
With that, I lost it.
Oh.
Anybody that knows anything about God is that there is no devil. It's all God.
That's right.
God,
He's just an asshole.
Yeah. Sometimes he does things you like. Sometimes he does things you don't.
Yeah.
And he's also not a he.
It's an it. She's a she.
Yeah.
No.
I don't fucking know. It's a nothing.
It's a ghost floating around.
Where was it?
I don't know.
It's
What did you
Damn.
start with?
There's no point.
There is no point.
Yeah, there is no point.
You know, but
Talking
that's
about that lady. Her husband died.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping it would help.
I've always wanted that point to lead to something, because I'll be in the middle of it, and it doesn't seem like it leads anywhere. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it is creating that goal. Like, okay, my life is going to have meaning because I'm going to be able to provide, I don't know, a life for myself and my family. Well, your family could change. The way you provide may have to shift in that time to where you're doing something you enjoyed, but now you can't do that and provide for your family. So
Yeah.
those crossroads that we create in our lives, and we do create them because we
Absolutely.
make choices, and going into it are where we need to realize, like, there are multiple paths from that point forward. It may not be what we thought it was.
Yeah.
It may not be what we want, but that's what life is. It's running into situations that we have to make decisions to progress. And that progression is not always a self-improvement,
Right.
and sometimes it's a negative. And it's progression of life. It's not progression of self.
I like that. Because I was always mad about out of high school, and I went to college for a while, and then I was working like 2 or 3 jobs at a certain point, and I got that in my head. I'm like, the fuck is like, I got to this point where I'm just like, fucking, all of this makes no sense and shit. And just so happened around that time, it was good timing. I tried a drug, and just so happened that drug was the fucking one for me. It made me forget about all that. And then I went off on that decision and lived that for, 3 to 4 years, chasing this meaning I thought I found in a substance, because for whatever reason, I just couldn't handle that. I wasn't making dick. I was living in this little studio apartment, working and going to school, and I fucking hated it. My girlfriend at the time was just terrible too, to boot. But yeah, it's one of those things. I just hope I don't get to that point, because I think, you know what I mean? I don't want to get to that point. I want to create things. I want to do things, but I fucking hate the system we live in.
Well, it's also sometimes you got to remember what you have to go off of is only your perception of what happened. So in a situation where you chose that path, you may looked at it as shit. It may have like had bad things come across your way. You may have lost people, may have lost job, may have lost money. But in the same regard, you also had a situation where you were able to lose that and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You were able to go through that, not necessarily make yourself stronger, but just experience that.
Yeah.
And keep having additional experiences. So it's one of those things, like, in the moment, it's fucking horrible. But it's only your perception of it being horrible because it's happening at that time.
Yeah.
You may go into your 60s and look back at it, man, look at the freedom I fucking had back then. I did this shit, fucked up my life so much, and then I was able to go ahead and do this and progress forward and do this out of that.
Yeah.
So it's all about taking a step back and looking at it through a different lens when and how you can. And it's not always easy.
No, that's maybe that, is to a certain degree what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to, in retrospect, look back and be like, these are things, and ponder that. And maybe that leads to enlightenment in a certain degree. Like I just, trying to find that. And I think at one point I had enough energy and shit to like want to find it. And there was a period of time where it's like, I'm gonna fucking find it. And I never found anything, but just, right where I'm at. And I, now I don't even have the energy to do that. I have the energy to do things I do to a certain degree. And then I'm like, fuck doing anything else. I'm so fucking tired. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then I think about, like, like, you have 2 kids, you have 1. Even 1. Like, I couldn't imagine having a human person in my house that has to be, like, maintained, like, all the time. Until they're, like, a little older and shit. But...
Yeah.
I get to think about them, like, God, where do people, that have children, where do you find the fucking energy to do anything outside of working
I just
home?
don't stop him from eating stuff off the floor.
No shit.
Yeah,
Put that
just
energy
have
towards
to.
something else.
let him do it. I'm gonna go read.
Yeah, because I was like, I was young at the time, but my parents, when I was in that, like, I knew what was going on in the family. You know, they were roughly like 25, 26. They had us young, you know, and it dawned on me when I was 25 to 28, around that area, that you know, I couldn't imagine what they went through. Yeah, they were drug addicts.
Why
they
didn't
were
you just say late
alcoholics.
20s?
I know.
Mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
God.
But I get to thinking about that. I'm like, you know, they had it rough. I see sympathy in that. I'm like, you know, you had it tough, because if you went through what I went through and I had a kid at the time, like, that kid would hate me at the time.
Maybe,
I mean,
but
you
at the
hate
same
your parents,
time,
so-
like, I mean, fuck it, who cares? My dad is like a full-blown alcoholic, and we
Yeah.
didn't have a great childhood, but he would take us to the bar, drink, and we would just sit in the other room and watch TV. I don't
Yeah.
remember it as being a horrible thing. I remember betting on the Kentucky Derby when I wasn't
Right.
allowed to, and I won because my horse won the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, man.
So again, you know, like, from his perception, yeah, he's a shit father. I shouldn't be in a bar in the
Yeah.
middle of the day placing illegal bets.
Yeah.
To be
But-
fair, at least it wasn't at night.
yeah, because that would be worse. But in the same regard, you know, I took what I had and I had fun in what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Would I pick it for myself? No,
Probably not.
but you
Dude,
know,
That's fucking not hilarious. Not
Yeah,
hilarious
no,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. My dad played in bars, specifically one in Indiana. It was called Slingers. I mean, this was in the 90s. And we were so young. Like, there was a rule at the bar. He would allow us to play in their little game area where they had a
Yep.
pool table. And they were like, you can't play it because you're too young and you'll fuck up the table.
Yep.
And then one of the fun memories was when a guy, a drunk dude, would help us get onto a stool so that we could, like, do it. And I remember that being like a good memory.
Yeah.
Although it was the situation, I'm sure my dad looks back like, what the fuck?
right.
It was fun to me. So
Yeah.
I think I can relate to that.
So
a lot,
I mean,
yeah.
like, perception and how you look at it and how you perceive it from your past is a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah. I remember one time, like, they had one of those casino games, and somebody actually put money into it and left. And I started playing it, and I started winning money, and it came back in, and he got fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, I made you
This is
$5,
your fault,
dude.
bro.
Fuck you. But, yeah. But I was the one in trouble for it. So.
Yeah. Dude, that's that is wild. It's crazy. That's and I know that, like, the perception thing always gets me. And Sarah's always like, you need to go to therapy, and I'm like, as much as I want to, I'm also like, fuck, it takes me forever to do anything like that. And you know, because apparently, like, you process the information, you put it away somewhere, and you deal with it healthily, or however you say the word.
Healthily.
Healthily. And I don't think I've done that.
Teethly.
Jeez. I don't think you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
processing it. Yeah, I have my thoughts about it. I have my perception, and then I'm just like, fuck the rest of it, right? But apparently if you find a good one, they help you, like, really categorize it.
I think everybody should try it, and I'm saying that not having tried it. But I know I have trust issues, so I have to confront that before I would ever consider it. And I'm not ready to do that.
No, that'd be rough. They Sarah finally got me into one, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I did it for like 3 visits, right? Enjoyed the guy. The guy would talk about stoicism, and he's very intelligent, does a lot of work with the alcoholic community and shit. After my 3rd visit, I get a letter in the mail, and it was like, this guy was moving on. Never warned me on my visit or anything, and I told her, I was like, fuck this. If he could just, like, dip on me after
Right.
I, like, unleash all this shit on him, fuck him.
Right.
But I know there's nowhere to be, you know.
I enjoyed our first 3 dates. Now you never want to see me again?
That is pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Take this kind of rejection.
Yes.
I don't know.
What
Like,
happened?
what?
Oh, I thought something happened.
What the fuck
No.
is that?
That is a string from the...
Whatever.
What's it fucking
The
doing?
point is, desire is the root of all suffering. So, instead of trying to come up with your goals and your purpose or whatever, just kind of follow your gut. You know, you think, all right.
Isn't your
I like
gut
this.
desire?
No. Desire is the desire for it. Your gut is intuition telling you. There's
Right and
there's a
wrong.
difference between what you feel instinctively and what you want intellectually.
How can you separate what desire and gut is in
Well,
every situation?
Think of it like whenever you're hungry. Whenever you're actually hungry,
Yeah.
your body is like, all right, we need to eat something. Fucking
But 90% of people feel a sensation that says they're hungry when they're not.
yeah, 90% of people are fucking stupid.
Well, 90% of people wouldn't be able to distinguish gut from
Which is why we're
desire.
gonna hash it out here.
So how do we do it?
You have to pay attention. You have to sit in silence a lot. And then whenever you find yourself thinking, I want to know my purpose, you're doomed. Because you want your purpose. You desire purpose.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about my purpose.
See?
I don't think
why you're
I
great.
don't
You
think
got
I have
this.
one.
That's your purpose.
Yeah, I'm here just
Nah,
doing
it
shit.
doesn't it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Which is why you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how I
because you
always
can
look at
sleep
it
pretty
that way.
easily. But I don't know. Alan Watts talks about like the idea of like the more you want it, the more it's gonna kind of like go away. It's like
Yeah.
desiring not to desire is a desire.
Ah. So
Yeah.
even in that act, you're desiring something.
Yeah. So you
So
just kind of gotta
Bukowski.
let all that shit go.
Yeah.
Like don't
Stop
make it
trying.
worse, but stop trying to figure it out. Just kind of kick back, enjoy the ride,
I don't know if
and
I
when
could do
faced
that.
with a decision, choose the one that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you choose what's better?
Go with your gut.
I use a decision.
'Cause
app.
How do you decide what's your gut from desire?
Hey, buddy.
I
Ooh,
quite
like, how do you
literally
even
use a
decide?
decision app.
just
because I
know.
can't decide.
But we just said 90% of people are stupid. They
Yeah.
don't choose their gut.
I think
Well,
we got a paradox.
Yeah,
on
but I
here.
mean, I just think in terms of
Yeah.
like, I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, I know the difference. Whenever there are these things like Casper will sometimes have like TikTok up, and it's like the intuition checks or whatever, and there's a card, and it's like, I'm gonna flip this over. What's on the other side of the card? I've done enough of them, so I know the difference now whenever I actually go with my intuition to where like there's a voice outside of myself and it's like, oh, a blue star. And whenever it's not that and it's my intellectual brain saying, oh, it's a yellow turtle. It's subtle. You just have to spend time with it and eventually you'll be able to pick up on it a little
So
better.
you're saying listen to the brain or the outside voice?
The outside voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
so
because
God.
your brain would be a part of
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
your
Let
brain.
go and
would-
let God, buddy.
Let Jesus take the wheel.
Let Jesus take the wheel.
I would assume that your brain would be more tuned to desire than it would no desire, like just intuition. Yeah.
Sit with it, man. Figure it
Well,
out.
see, that's another thing. I fucking watched the video. It was like, most of us can't just sit in silence with ourselves and deal with ourselves, right? And I thought, I'm like, I do that a lot, right? And then I got to like really paying attention to what I do in the day, and I don't think I do, because if I sit with myself for any amount of time, I'm like frantically going around the house like I got to pick up a project, I got to do, got to listen to a video, got to learn something, got to play an instrument. Like I have to be, because I don't feel right unless I'm moving towards like something interactive
yeah,
or
that's
learning.
why in that I would recommend meditation.
Yeah.
Because like part of the problem, as I see it, is that you have that it's not so much what feels right. It's like you have a compulsion where it's like,
Yeah.
I have to do all this stuff. Not that it's like helping you, but you
Right.
feel weird if you don't.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
just start meditating and notice the difference. And then once you kind of quiet yourself, you'll probably see some progress there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that meditation be done out of desire
to
to
lighten the
better
load
yourself?
Could be. But then if you just do it,
without the want for any outcome, maybe
yeah.
you're
'Cause I
just
mean,
like,
if
going
it-
to
You're just
implement
doing
this.
it to do
Yeah,
it.
because it's like the idea of you start doing it to better yourself. And then eventually you're just doing it.
Yeah.
And I know you could argue that, well, that's just further down the path of desire, isn't it?
Maybe expectation is the problem and not desire.
Yeah.
You can have desire, but if you expect things, you're always setting yourself up for either disappointment or, happiness, I guess, which is kind of, both of them are kind of guidance.
Yeah, and you're going to have disappointment and happiness because it only lasts a certain
Right.
portion of time.
Because it's constantly changing.
Ugh.
So.
But I mean, I also feel like the idea of letting go of desire, like, that's not the answer. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
Just definitely quieting yourself and being able to identify more of what is desire, I definitely see a benefit in. But
Yeah.
the complete removal or search for obtainment of desire is
Right.
a little hard.
Yeah. Because then that gets into the idea of, like, well, why do anything?
Self-preservation, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I desire to live.
Right.
No, you don't. Sit
No,
in silence.
you don't. You're fine. You don't need to live, man. Just sit there. Think
You
about the moon.
shut up.
Yeah,
It's
but-
odd.
Yeah, it's not the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll help you get closer to it personally.
Yeah. And then the bad part about knowing that a lot of things you were told when you were a child are a lie, and then, like you said, trust issues are insecurities. Once you think you found something that means something to you, and I've done this in the last 5 years, I'm like, I fucking got it, I'm on the track, and immediately I'm like, oh, well, I've just made up some dumb shit excuse as to what this life's for, and then I continue to pick it apart until it's just imploded, you know. So it's, I think, I fucking blame people
Self-destructive.
around me. Yeah, definitely self-destructive.
Yeah.
Always been, for sure. But yeah. So even if I found something that I could be, lean on to, probably wouldn't be for long. I'd be like, but maybe that's what I need to work on the meditation for. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
But it scares me to fucking have a day. Like, she'll be like, just sit on the couch with me and bring the laptop over and you can work on the laptop or whatever. And I'm like, that scares the fuck out of me. Just standing still,
Yeah.
I'll get in this fit of anxiety that I just fucking frantic. What am I going to do?
He'll actually just get up, stand up,
And
just
stare.
and walk around and try to figure out what direction is he gonna go? Am I going
Yeah.
in the back room or am I gonna?
It is a compulsion, though.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely
I
right.
feel like that would probably help you because it seems like, at the end of the day, you're like, the cycle begins again.
Yeah.
But without the cycle and something filling it, you're kind of at a loss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
like you crave the thing you hate.
I know. I told you, that's exactly what I told her. I'm like, I fucking love doing these things, but I'm beginning to hate every single one of them
Yeah.
for for that purpose.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's because you feel like they're not contributing to anything.
right. I feel like
Yeah.
they're a waste of time.
Your happiness can't be the reason that you're doing those things.
Yeah.
It has to be towards something else.
I played football, baseball, bowling, wrestling, and a few after school things in high school. And because I was told you do fucking all of the things if you want to do them. I'm like, cool. Every time that I would reach, except for bowling, I kind of kept, but every time I would reach a varsity game, and I was allowed to play it, it was either a freshman or a sophomore. That was it for me. I was like, well, that's fine, because I don't plan to go college. And I don't plan to go pro or anything like that. That's fine with me. That's as far as I can go. I'm done with it. On to something else. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. If I obtain any amount of success in something, I'm like, is that
He's
that's
like,
probably enough.
I'm
fuck
an
it.
expert. I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm out of here. There's no point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this for a living. No fucking point. Or fucking go
Yeah,
pick another
too.
thing,
And I'd look at it a little bit of that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Picking up stuff, doing
Yeah.
it, and once you've reached a point where you're like, well, this is fucking pointless, move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude. That's
Fuck
what I always tell. Just
Find a way
whatever
to be
you want to do. is
okay with
fine.
it, though.
Do
Yeah.
that shit.
Find acceptance in it. Be like, yeah, I did that. I've done that. I mean, that's why you have people that have traveled the world and done everything
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they just fucking did what they wanted. Then when they were done with it, they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
dude that was like a doctor and an astronaut or some shit,
Yeah.
and he was like a
So-
lawyer maybe.
Yeah, you don't have to find purpose in it. You just did it. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I
Well,
climbed a mountain.
There's
What
a,
of it?
Yeah. fuck
That
out
was
mountain. I'm done.
that was last Tuesday. I've moved on.
And
Yeah.
presumably you're better for it. So
Who cares if you're better for it? I felt like doing it. I did it, and I moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought about I had a thought experiment. I was on the way home from a customer's house, and what I thought was like, a lot of us pick at least a generalized path on like what we're doing after high school. We all have to think about it. And some people go to military, and that ends up they find out that they just fucking use you until you're used up, and then they kick you out and they don't forget about you and stuff. And then some of us pick these other paths and stuff. Isn't it fucked up that you could pick a path? Let's just say somebody goes to college to be a teacher, right? And you spend 6 to 8 years depending on what your prereqs look like. And then you get out and you get to be a teacher. That's like 8 years later, and it's nothing to what you wanted. It's fucking god awful, and now like you have all these bills that, to pay for the fucking college you went to and shit. And it's just dog shit that we can get roped into these things when we're very young and then have no way out. And then when you do have a way out, it's super hard because now you're locked in. You know what I mean? Financially, mentally, emotionally, whatever. So
I did always think it was crazy that people expect you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life, like as a teenager.
yeah.
I have
Did
no
you all
fucking
know?
clue. No.
Yeah, I have a clue.
no, I still don't.
Right.
I know. I feel bad
good.
about that too. Like I don't think I know. I thought I knew. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to know.
No.
Well, and that's
It's
I
a
think,
rare thing when
Yeah.
people do.
Yeah.
I worked with one guy.
Yeah.
He knew from the time he was like 5. He's like, I want to be a dentist.
Oh.
That's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he became a dentist.
But I think
Hey,
it's a
makes
part of
them
the
happy, go for
problem
it.
Hell yeah.
is for like people like you anyway, is that you're told you will do one job, you'll work there for 40 years, you'll retire, the end. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can do anything you want at any time for any reason, and
That's
and
one
do
of the
it.
things I hate most about life is the fact that they make it seem like you have to do this one thing, be proficient at it. And when you're not, like I have a bunch of things, I'm not proficient at any of them, but I have a bunch of things. And it's unfair to people who have multiple things that, you work yourself in a body. Like if I had to do one thing, like I said, when I have to stand still or think about sitting on the couch or think about doing nothing, but yeah, I know there's like underlying issues, but yeah, it makes me want to fucking like run. It makes me just want to run. Get away from
Well,
the fucking
first and foremost, I mean, like anybody that's ever considered like a great mind or a thinker has issues. I mean, like
Yeah.
Einstein, Newton, all of them have rumored to have mental illnesses
Yeah.
or adjacent
Absolutely.
to them. So, I mean, people are people. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, I think, has to do with the mindset or a culture mentality in our country that stems from like the turn of the century, right after the First War, so like 1920s into the 1950s, for the male role. And I don't know about female.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. But like the male was raised to go get a job and
Yeah.
be the provider. And since the 50s, since America was great, that role has changed.
Why'd you put
and
that in
we've
quotes,
realized
D? No, sorry,
Do
continue.
you want me to tell you?
No.
Since that
Sorry.
time,
Come on.
our roles changed, and it's even still changing.
yeah,
Like, our-
Yeah.
sure.
The amount of men going into college is down. The amount of
Oh,
men
really?
that
Hell yeah.
women are going to college in
Yeah.
full force. A lot of arts are being driven by women.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like music is extremely becoming more and more female artist driven.
Yeah.
Even,
Industry's still male driven, but
even judges are like more women than men.
Yeah.
and I mean it started with the feminism movement that was actually highly a male movement. They were like, we need women to be part of this
That's
and
dope.
with us and equal.
Yeah.
And then it was splintered and it got divided into the manosphere and toxic masculinity, and then
Absolutely.
feminism, equalism, hippieism, and it just it got subdivided like it always does.
It
But
exploded.
the male role of being the provider, being the one that went to
that's
work and
changed.
coming back and bringing the paycheck, that doesn't exist anymore.
No.
You can't afford to do one person unless that one
Right.
person has like a 6-figure job.
Right.
You
And
have
even
to
that,
have,
I feel like nowadays, fuck.
right, and that's
Yeah.
still low end of the
I
total.
know.
Yeah.
It's like fucking
So,
terrible.
that mentality of like one man, one role, even into like the Ford manufacturing line. Like one guy does tires, one guy does parts.
yeah.
In France, you had the Renaissance movement. You had the guy that was supposed to be able to, maybe it wasn't France, maybe it was Rome. Anyway, be all encompassing. Be like a guy that could do everything and know about everything. Maybe not in depth, but an all around person.
A Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh.
always
So
wondered
I
where that
think
came
that-
from.
I think that's a big cultural thing that we've missed, and that we focused on way too much.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
definitely to our detriment.
Yeah.
It's sad. Yeah. That's it always baffles me that I don't know anybody who works just like one person in the house and stuff. God forbid you have a kid and then there's no way. I don't think even with a 6-figure or higher would be. I mean, there is a certain point where it's like, but no, I don't know anybody's obtaining that around me. Like,
No
you know,
one's making that amount of money.
so it's
doctors.
it's fucking rough, man. And back then you could, survive, but that's changed. And I see a lot of females like that my friends are involved with that make that income higher than theirs, even though they work like a labor job or whatever, and they work technically harder, not mentally harder, but technically harder, and it's. That's just the way it moves, It's,
Well, I mean,
it's weird.
Gas was like under $1 in the 60s or
Right.
50s. College tuition was probably 4 figures. A new car was like $10K.
Yeah.
It's just that's the way it was. Changed.
It
But
makes
we
me
haven't
think it's
adapted
like
many mindsets to that change.
No.
it wasn't sustainable. But I would assume it's because of greed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
that always plays a role, but in the same mindset, it's like power's changed, like industry changed, climate changed. It's all encompassing.
Yeah.
I look at the Egyptians,
Everything
they used to
changes.
hold women to the highest degree. Like men weren't, men were practically slaves to the system in which they lived.
I'd love to have just a gaggle of men slaves.
Men slaves.
Yeah.
And I would too,
Y'all
but,
could be like
you
my
know.
posse. You're not gonna be my slaves. Yeah.
But that's what they did, man. And I think that you see that moving back towards it. And although I see a feminist movement now, it's what we've gotten in a conversation about maybe a few times, is I don't see it from my viewpoint, which could be skewed, is I don't see that it's empowering women. I don't see that it's strengthening them like the first movement did or the suffrage movement, things like that, because it's almost as if men are like telling women like you can do whatever, like take off your clothes, fucking like walk around like this, get an
You do that for
OnlyFans,
you.
and yeah, there's empowering you, and they're giving us either that or social media is doing it to them, and they're giving this false sense of empowerment through like OnlyFans or being promiscuous in a certain sense, whether that's with their body, their mind, whatever, and I don't think it's empowering. I think it's making them less intelligent. I think it's breaking them down. I think
they're
it's
trying to pull us back down.
the female unit, the friends that they had, even aren't as strong as those bonds that females would build between one another doesn't seem as strong,
Well, that falls into that fraction of toxic masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are using feminism rhetoric
Yeah.
to promote the idea that we want to empower women, but they're also just putting women into not unattainable, but unattractive roles.
Yeah.
Let's sell yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
that's
do
okay,
that, you
because it's
whore.
empowering.
I figure like
Yeah,
that. It
dude.
depends on the individual. 'Cause I mean,
Well, you-
as
you
with
have-
everything.
You
but-
have situations where people are users of the system and get things out of it, but you also have people that fall victim to it. unknowingly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I would say the users are the minority and
Yeah.
minimal percentage.
Yes.
Yeah.
But is that a fault of the system or a shortcoming of the majority?
Well, do you blame the victim?
Sometimes.
Ian does.
You know I
but-
do.
But society's not supposed to.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if I were a chick and I was making an ass load of money from, like, shaking my shit,
Yeah.
I didn't care.
But
Like, great, I'm living large. I don't need the system. I don't need a man. I've got all this cool shit just for showing my boobs.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I can see on the other hand where it's like the system eats you up, you know, but that would be circumstance and poor choices.
Not
And
necessarily.
or
Like outside of the top 1%, which has gotten even smaller in that industry, in female porn or in porn driven by the female lead, you're done after 3 movies.
right?
So you get some income for those 3 movies, but
Oh, well,
it's short lived.
see,
you're
I'm
not gonna
thinking
be able
more
to
in
do
terms of like OnlyFans style.
Yeah,
like
but-
you build like a following of people.
But you can't sustain that following.
Indeed, you get old, it falls apart.
No,
kinda thing.
not even that. Like
Yeah.
you are a flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with that community, they want something new
Yeah.
all the time. You may be able to adapt to that, and it may be able to supplement your income,
Right.
but it can be a sustainable income.
Yeah.
Then
Plus,
you're-
it's a minority. But then, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, you could take that money and invest it in other things.
That would
'Cause
be
I
the
mean-
smart thing.
What
Oh,
what
yeah.
where are you going to be able to invest in a situation where somebody's seen your work? You're going to be given
it's gonna be rough.
a label before you even get started.
Yes, but then if you embrace it, instead of trying to make it in like the baking industry, make it in something adult adjacent.
Such as toys or
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know what these whores do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make a retirement
That's
plan
funny.
for whores. Come on.
but you see the traps in
Absolutely.
okay.
And it ruins.
And it's going to be the minority that does well.
Right.
Somebody said like one of the arguments was like you're not gonna get a high value male partner and or if whatever you choose to have as your partner, because most people in general don't want, unless they think like you, and they're few and far between, they don't want a partner that's been with hundreds of partners or that has these videos up on the internet that are always going to be there and always going to pop back up the worst times. You can't have a child with that woman because if you want to not have that pop up, I mean, you can have a child with that woman, but things like that. So I think it ruins your relationships. I think it ruins whether, it's male, female, whatever, relationships. I think job opportunities later. I think it has been spun to younger women and shit just for the enjoyment of like males and a toxic masculinity society that, it's almost like they're trying to take the power away from
Trying to
women
put
that they're
us back in
gaining.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have that, what do you have? You have the right telling you, well, your role is to be a good mother, a
Right.
provider, you're
Good
supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean. Like that isn't a bad thing. And now they're spinning that to be this desirable thing. And we've just digressed a lot. With a lot of the change that we've had and the gains, we've had a lot of regression. And then, throw inflation and things like that on top and the hard times that we're about to go through. It's like, yeah, it's going to get rough.
Yeah.
There are a lot of weak-minded people that are not going to back us up.
That's what I was sitting here thinking is it's like, it's all, you have to make the decisions that are right for you. And if you are, then most of the time you're going to be fine. You're doing shit just because of pressures from whoever, whether it's someone
Yeah.
you know or society or, things aren't going to go well,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I like to put like more responsibility on the individual.
Yeah.
It's like, things are bad. All right, well, see if you can work it out. People that rely too much on society, I think, of course they're going to get the shit into the stick.
Right. Learn to think for yourself, please.
Well,
Yeah.
that's something that's been beneficial, I'll say, of like picking random fucking things up, right?
Yeah.
And just like trying to figure out, I always want to take it apart. If you're going to throw it away, I'm taking it apart, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see if I can put it back together, if I can make it work, whatever. But the benefit of that, because we'd be in a worse position than we are now if we had to buy everything, if we had to have a mechanic, if we had to have a plumber, drywaller, a whatever. Now, I'm not the best, and I have a fucking bathroom floor that's been undone for the last 6 years, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. And
It feels like 2 or 3.
yeah, and I hope so, but I don't think.
I think it's been like 6.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
But who cares?
But you get what I'm
It's
saying?
not
Like
top of the list. For us.
without like knowing something about a little bit of a lot of things, like I would have to pay for those things. And now it's become a high price for everything.
I don't know how we would survive if we had to pay for all that. Like
All
a
of
mechanic, there's always a problem with our vehicles, and we have
Always.
so many of them. I mean, there's always something that has to be done.
Yeah.
D's pressing for society.
Yes.
What about society?
Society champion over
Well,
here.
they were promoting the power of the individual, and I was just
Oh.
saying the reason that
gotcha.
we can afford to live in a society that will take care of people's toilets and cars is
Yeah.
because we rely on society. And
I mean,
we've
I'm
set
all,
that up.
I'm all for that, but I just think that there's some responsibility on the person. It's a very complex issue, and it's not just, oh, I fucking did this to myself.
And,
There's a lot that plays into it.
I never look at it as because the drain or the fallacy that you can fall into when you get into the subject of personal responsibility is one that is such a slippery slope for
Oh,
me.
for
Oh, it
sure.
is.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear it mentioned, it's like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's a fallacy. You
Yeah,
can't
that's
fucking
just
do
dumb.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, definitely. Well, when I say shit like that, it's like it's acknowledging that there's a foundation already there as society. And it's like if you take the idea of a house being a society, your personal responsibility or your personal actions or accountability is basically using the kitchen to cook instead of the bathroom.
Right.
Like you have to function within that society in a reasonable way that is good for you. And then don't you come at me with everybody cooks in the kitchen. It's just what happens.
I
There's motherfuckers
cook
out
outdoors
there.
quite often.
Yeah.
There's people out there
Alright, good
tearing the
deal.
kitchen down and shit. So
I just, you're right. The thing that I hate, even though I know those things, I could do those things, I fix things, it fucking asks there. Like, that's another one that I'm just like, what's the point? I just want to, like, fucking take myself out, so I take it out of the society. Like, I want to keep my own independence by killing myself. Like, you can't take nothing from me then. Sarah can run off with anything I leave her, right? Fuck this society.
After
because
the government gets their cut from taxes.
no
and
shit. That's what I'm saying. They keep going. And that's the thing about society. It's fucked up. It's like personal responsibility. I don't agree with that at a lot of times. There's a lot of people that really do self-harm to themselves.
Yeah.
But this society is built to drain you of absolutely everything you own.
yeah.
See, the society isn't built that way. The society is corrupted that way.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
For sure. And, some of that I think is self-imposed.
Absolutely.
It's like the cops and like military and stuff. They all justify themselves within their group. And then like that cop coming up to the other guy and he was like, he was just holding a sign like, God bless the vets, right? And the guy was like, what are you doing here? And I'm going to fucking like, I'm the boss of you, right? And he was like, he said the phrase, I know what your rights are. I know your God-given rights. And I'm telling you, you got to leave this property. His God-given rights, but you're telling another man to get off a property that's holding a sign that is inevitable. It's all around like a joyous thing. Like he's just saying, God bless the vets, because nobody else will, right? I'm like, you just said it. Like, how do we have a society where we have these like groups that battle one another within we self-police ourselves. We beat each other down. We fucking put each other in corners, and then we lock each other out of like industries and things, They're like, this is mine. You can have it.
Yeah.
But we do it. They found a way to make us do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
How weird.
Well,
So good.
Mind control.
a lot of people would argue that it's within our nature to make sure that once we've accomplished something or once we've achieved something, that we maintain that elitist aspect of it. Like, not everybody deserves this. I had to work my ass off to
Right.
do this. It shouldn't just be handed out to people. And honestly, if it's available, it should fucking be handed out to people. I mean, if we can improve our society in a certain way, let's just say healthcare. If
Right.
we have a better foundation of healthcare, more people would be productive at work. More people will be
Absolutely.
able to handle things in a more productive way in their family life. It
Yeah, I mean, just
it
removing
expands
the stress.
exponentially, and you can do that in so many fields that it's ridiculous that we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that individual mindset of I had this, not everybody should, is a big problem with that.
Oh, it runs deep too. I don't know what the way to change that is, unless everybody had to suffer at one time. So with I think that people with more money are going to last a lot longer, but we're all about to feel the pressure of a lot of things, a lot of our missteps, a lot of our bullying, a lot of our enemies we've made along the way. We're going to get the call's going to come and somebody's going to answer it. You know what I mean? There's going to be nations that gang up on us for good reason. And I hate to say it, I love America. I love being here. I know it's been great, but look, you're going to have to get yours, you know? You can't get in a fight without getting punched one time.
The idea of what you were on about, like if we had the stuff, you know, and all that crap, like it would be awesome. The fact that we don't have it, it kind of just makes me think, well, I mean, we're a country that runs on the ideals of people that built the country on the backs of slaves.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously they're not going to give us this shit that would make the country better, because people that have things that are better
Why
are
should we
harder to control.
Why should we base our actions on the thoughts of people that are no longer here?
Well, because it works for the people at the top. They're like, hey, we found a way
Yeah.
to break people down and control them, and we can run their shit if they
And
have
we
less
don't even
to show
have to
for
do
it.
anything.
That's
So,
the
like,
thing, yeah.
Yeah. And so really the fix for it is violent revolution,
Absolutely.
which is what I'm constantly pushing for.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Yes,
that's
violent
what
revolution.
my whole argument behind the whole
band-aid.
January 6th thing.
Yes.
Whatever it was, you know, you can't listen to any news source spinning whatever story, whatever it was, whatever it wasn't. It was nowhere near what it could be, right? You had a large, massive group of people that were willing to cross a line, right? That's a line that we haven't crossed in a very long time. And they did nothing with the opportunity but make themselves look like fools.
They didn't have a clear idea of what they were.
No,
And
not one.
Well, I guess they did a little bit, but once they got inside, they were just like,
It
I want
wasn't
to take a
nearly
picture.
organized
Yeah.
enough.
No.
Yeah.
And they could have achieved.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't for like the still, whatever the main purpose was for all of them getting angry, they could have accomplished. And they didn't. They made themselves look like fools.
Just imagine
Unfortunate.
if we did
Just
that
to
for
throw a little
things-
Disney wisdom at you, attitude reflects leadership. Captain.
Oh shit! Yes.
Hell yeah.
But you imagine if
Strong
we put.
side, Sorry.
Oh my God! Did you hear that? That was like a whistle.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. But yeah, if we put that type of energy into something that actually is going to help like a majority of people or something, if we put that into like
Yes.
healthcare, I mean, just since that's the
I had
example.
I had a drug dealer one time. Not one time, multiple times. It was weird.
It was your dude.
Yeah,
I had all these drug dealers just show up. Sorry.
he would. His
all
car
been
would
there.
break down every now and then, or something would happen. I would drop him somewhere, right? And I saw the guy like all the time. I mean, I was a drug addict, but
Every day.
he would
I didn't
always.
buy once a month,
Yeah,
man.
I was like, we were pretty
I
close.
was on
You
the
know?
daily plan.
He'd be like, you know, if you took just a fraction of the energy you put into drugs, getting them, the things you do for it, you know, if you took a fraction of that energy and that motivation, he was like, there is no telling what you could do. It is absurd that you come to me, you don't have a job, you come to me every day, you always have whatever. He was like, you're a good person. I don't see what the problem is, right? He would say that shit to me, and he
Drugs.
was the deal. You know,
Yeah,
he
dude.
was doing it, but he would look at me and say that, and I kept that with me for years, man. I can hear him saying it now, and he was right. Like if I put just a fraction of that energy into anything when I was younger, like when I was fucking headstrong, like there would have been no stopping me.
Yeah.
And then I got to think, I'm like, well, why? I guess because the goal wasn't. What's that word? As satisfying to me as, you know, drugs. Yeah. Of course, there wouldn't have been.
Of course,
but,
nothing is.
yeah.
What's an immediate payoff compared to a slow,
yeah.
Incremental payoff?
Yeah.
Right. That may or may not come. Yeah.
And
There's
while
a chance.
he's basing the fault on you,
Yeah.
the victim, or the person that's being abused by the drug industry, you know, he's playing a role in it.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, like
yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about,
Just stop
motherfucker?
answering my calls, bro.
You're on the hook for what, 50 grand because you had to pay for this stash. Where's your stash at, huh? You taking that responsibility on yourself? Huh? Did you pull yourself
What
up
if
by
I
that
just
bootstrap,
fucking-
buddy?
I just handle his ass in the
Right,
car.
it's
Get in
like-
this conversation again, I dare you. Look, check this out, though. I'm glad you brought that up. So, something that me and Sarah talking about, all these fucking Netflix things that come out and they're talking about Purdue Pharma and the family and all this shit, right? I can't tell you how many people that have come into my life and left my life that were in my life when it happened. All this shit just could not understand why I picked drugs and like drugs this and what, you know, it's your fault. You're a fucking piece of shit. All that. That's
they've
all they
never
think.
done
Everybody
drugs.
I've ever met, known that don't talk to me, that's why. Because they're like, you're a piece of shit. You chose that over whatever, right? And it baffles me that all these things can come out that Purdue pushed it,
Yeah.
knew the risk, and knew that like it was spreading like cancer,
Yeah.
and continue to push it for years afterwards, right? And then did nothing to fix. And they still have the mindset that like you're a piece of shit, you picked it. Like, am I though, or was it a choice? Because kind of feels like it was like, you know, hanging the hot dog over the person that's like starving to death. Like,
Yeah, dude. For sure.
And it falls into that situation. Like, of course, yes, a choice was made.
right.
But should I have one mistake dictate the rest of my life? Because that
Absolutely.
is an addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
you fuck up once and you're labeled. You have health problems. You may or may not see advances forward. I mean, one decision changes that for one person,
Yeah.
and it's heavily weighted on one side. It's like, to go back to the individual versus the society thing. Yes, it's the individual's fault for making that choice, but it's the society's fault for allowing that situation not to have a rectifying arc.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not to be like, we have set this person up to fail.
Yeah.
We need to either stop that failure option or have a way that we can have more productive people come out of that choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like on one hand, I agree, but the other, I'm just thinking, it's like I don't really have a point with this. It's more of just a thought.
Yeah.
But like getting sober, it was a choice.
I mean, kind of. It feels
in a
like
way.
it's
Right.
not. Yeah.
Right.
Your brain has changed to where
Yeah.
it feels like it's not. But it is. You have to decide to do it. Yes.
Right. And then at that point of like becoming sober, that's like choosing sobriety, which would mean that every time you didn't choose sobriety, you were choosing to not get sober.
Right.
And it's not that there aren't factors that are like making it hard, but I mean, unless we accept the reality that getting sober isn't a choice, not getting sober is a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
for sure.
that is true. For sure. Anyone can get sober. At
Smoke
any
that,
time.
D.
It's just unlikely
Wait.
that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
statistically,
Right.
without taking out that catalyst,
Yeah.
there would be like it's almost impossible for a person. The statistics and the percentage of people who do it like without
Successfully.
court, without going to prison, without dying 3 or 4 times, like somebody who does it on the street, well, like Sarah
It's like
did,
no one.
where they just make a decision, this is happening. The numbers are fucking.
It's just me.
It's upsetting. It's crazy. But no.
So let's take we won't get into hydroxy. We won't get into anything that major pillish.
Right.
Let's go nicotine.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many people have made the choice to stop smoking, and how many have failed despite their choice to
Right.
stop?
Most.
A lot. Yeah. I don't know how many. I don't have numbers.
The
but
vast
a lot.
majority.
Vast majority. For
So
sure.
what, as you can see, we've done things because of that. Cigarettes are more expensive. We tax the shit out of them. We have ad campaigns and health campaigns and all of that to where a younger generation, unless it's dressed up as like bubble gum or whatever, vape pens, they're not
Right.
smoking.
Right.
That is a societal step that we've taken to help curve that.
True.
We're not doing that with pills. We're not doing that with heroin. We're not doing
Well,
that with cocaine.
With
We're-
pills, to a degree, they have. Because I mean, they're not prescribing pain pills as wickedly as they once did. So on that front, there's a little difference. But I think the biggest difference is that stuff is legal. If all drugs were legal, there would be more that they could do for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no societal push in formal channels is going to happen because you can't formally help curb things that are illegal to begin with. I think.
I think the criminality part of it is important. Like if they could make it less about it being criminal and more about assisting a person in a shitty situation with an awful disease. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
No, go
So
ahead.
I think we're also going to have to change like the societal outlook of
Absolutely,
that. Because
yeah.
Yeah.
people tend to not care about drug addicts. They're
Once
like,
you're
you
an addict,
fucking
Yeah.
bitch,
You're
That's
just
die
a
in
piece
the
of
gutter.
shit forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to change that.
That's
Other
what I was
than-
saying about the
other
mentality.
than somebody in their personal life being afflicted with something.
Yeah,
like,
if
to,
you're
to
lucky, yeah.
personalize it for you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to directly be impacted.
Same with mental health. Same with alcoholism.
Yeah.
That's-
It's like if it's not somebody that I know personally, I only care about mental health whenever they're shooting up a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the Taco Bell.
Oh, I want a taco.
Yeah.
My way. Yeah, no, absolutely. But that goes to how I think that they have figured out how to control us to where we think we're making the choices. We think we're making the decisions. We think we're, living in a society that we built ourselves. And it's not. It's a society that was built around us, and we're made to believe what they want us to believe to a certain degree. Some people can think outside of that box. There's not many of them. And even they have biases towards whatever they watch, whatever they listen to, read, So it's rough, man. When everything's talked to you, maybe it goes back to what you were saying. You just got to unplug at a certain point and try to meditate, get away from it.
And when I say this stuff, I mean it like it's simple, but I'm not saying it's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely
Okay.
not easy.
Good times.
Yeah, of course it's simple.
Yeah, the
Just
answer
stop
is
it.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk like an asshole all day in terms of simplicity, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think a big part of helping would be changing societal's view of it. So if you could, that's a good point, is making it individual, like not individuals, making it personal for each person, and then they actually care. Because if you've never been impacted by it, like most people don't give a fuck because they're
Yeah.
thinking about them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
you're not doing
Yeah.
anything.
You're like, fuck them, one less person. Put them in the meat grinder.
Yeah, did you get them the fuck out of here?
So let's see. We need Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Addicted to Oxy.
Done.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude.
She would probably put out a sweet album, though.
Oh,
I
it would
know.
be great.
You
It'd be
get
very
art out
dark.
of it. You get a ad campaign for drug addiction, and then I don't know how we help the mental health or the alcoholism, but we pick the darlings and we tear them down.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
thinking like
sort
with,
of something easy.
because I mean, the idea of the mental health, Britney Spears has been dealing with that shit.
Yeah.
And
They
most
Turned
people
on
don't
her
care.
so quick.
Yes.
I know.
I
I
know
was
the
like,
second.
the lady was just dancing in a kitchen with a knife. It's okay.
I know the second she does anything that seems odd, they're like, "Fuck this bitch!
Yeah.
She's insane!"
I know,
like,
not let's help her.
I
It's
know.
just, we don't want to listen to her anymore.
yeah, where'd Free Britney go? Like, you don't give
Right.
a fuck. They're like, she's free now.
I
She's a fuck
know.
up. Get her
Yeah,
out of
if
here.
she's not battling her dad.
Yeah.
People don't care.
No.
Huh.
But if she had cancer, they'd give a fuck.
Eh,
And maybe.
it would depend on what kind.
Oh, people. Would
I don't
care
know.
for
She's still
sure.
performing.
Is she?
Right?
Gonna still get tickets.
God, I saw a picture of her. She was in, she's a dancer. She was in like a dancer's outfit, which can be kind of skimpy, like the shorts are short and like leg warmer, just whatever. And everyone was like, she's mentally ill. Instantly. My God, what's wrong with her? I'm like, she's probably dancing somewhere. And then she went out real quick to get something, probably cigarettes. Like, leave her alone.
Ah, she's going to buy drugs. She's probably sucking dick
Look
for
at her.
socks.
She's definitely sucking dick.
I've seen that outfit on Hollywood Boulevard. I know what's going on.
That's so weird. Everybody wants their dick sucked, but they want to look down on people sucking dick.
Absolutely.
What's that shit?
Dude, I don't
is
know.
weird.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I mean, I went to Blumpkin and I looked down on people giving out Blumpkins.
Yeah, because that's gross.
I taught Casper what that was yesterday.
Did
She
you?
didn't know.
Yeah. No.
Did she consider it? Or no? Yeah.
It's like, why would somebody do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I called her the other morning. I lost my shit in Lowe's. I lost my shit. I was yelling on the phone. I have to clean the toilet. I've talked about this multiple times. I have to clean the toilet every time I go in the bathroom. Dudes are nasty, whatever. Never seen this degree of nasty. Maybe it's because guys clean up after themselves. Somebody came on the toilet seat, assumingly that they were taking a shit while jerking off because of where it was. I'm over here being a detective with the semen that's falling off the thing. And I
Clearly
didn't.
the spatter array over here.
It's dribbling north. He was clearly sitting down.
Dribbling.
I was so
Heavy on the
angry.
right cheek.
Can you imagine if some dude just like beating his meat right next to you while y'all taking a shit? Can you
You
imagine?
know he wouldn't care either.
probably an
You'd be able to
employee.
hear it.
And they have his 15-minute break.
Yeah. I'm just
could hear
packing
that.
cigarettes
I even
over
think
here.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm a very specific way.
You know how camels are.
Oh, that's even worse because I walk in there all the time and they walk out without washing their hands. But they're not handling my food, so I'm like, I guess it's all right.
Right.
But yeah, think about that guy.
Hepatitis is fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hepatitis is real. Oh, my God.
It irritated me. It ruined the rest of my day. I was very angry about it because I'm
Yeah.
like, I have to clean these. So how many toilets have been came on, and I've fucking just used them. I mean, I clean, but who cleaned before me? You know, because it was clean at a certain point, I'm sure. But
Hopefully.
For some reason in the bathroom at our work, there's 3 stalls, and the last stall is like the handicap stall.
Yeah.
Someone always takes like the biggest wad of the toilet paper or like the toilet seat covers and just chucks it in there. And I
damn,
don't
they got
get
some
it.
hate.
I don't know. I don't know why.
I get it. Why? Well, it's the handicap stall.
Yeah, fuck
The
them
handicapped are doing it.
Oh.
They're not physically handicapped. They're like, "Ah,
You're like, I don't understand this
Yeah.
toilet.
pack it in.
Dude, when I worked at the clinic, when I was cleaning the clinic,
Never
I
thought
found
of
some crazy shit in the toilets. It's,
Cell phone?
Oh, cell phone. It clogged the toilet. They had to come in and snake it. The snake kept going under the cell phone, so they had to like take the whole thing apart. And they're like, "Here's a cell phone." It was in the. Someone flushed that bitch.
But they do that shit
Why?
too, so they wouldn't have. They'd get out of a like a drug test or something. They were like, "Oh, toilet's fucking clogged, so I can't do it."
Yeah, dude.
Yo, that's I don't know, but if we're being honest, it's kind of handicapped too. Like a building full of drug addicts, like they're all handicapped. Like we're
Yeah.
all handicapped.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Until it comes to finding ways to get money for drugs.
Oh, and then we're
Then
geniuses.
Einstein's, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why we had a conversation about it. And I was thinking back, to those days, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm not being on some kind of like 007 when it comes to getting copper out of buildings. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
But outside of that, fucking retarded. Like I have no clue about shit. But yeah, but other than that, that's like my claim to fame. Anybody ever want to know how to get in without getting caught? I got you. I mean, you might get caught once, obviously, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got caught a couple times.
I feel like with you, like, hey, I can get copper out of buildings. You need to find a way to make a money machine.
Yeah.
ooh, yeah,
Like, just turn trees into money.
yeah.
You can
'Cause
do
it,
it.
There's a way. There has to be a way.
What? What's so goddamn funny?
It's just a bunch of counterfeit money.
They make counterfeit bills, buddy.
Yeah, but
What
does
do you want
he? I'm not trying to buy counterfeit bills.
Aren't you though?
I want our dude over here. I'm not trying to buy him. I want to chip in. I want to make an investment
Yes.
in this money operation.
Isn't it odd that counterfeit money is illegal? Does
Yes.
that weird you out a little bit? Especially since the like U.S. Mint and the IRS aren't a part of your government,
Yeah.
like they're a separate entity. Doesn't it strike you as odd that they were like, we make this paper, you can't make this paper,
Yeah, dude.
or these coins?
Well, I mean, anymore it's all electronic, so it's even more or even less real.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Which brings me to my next point. I have 1.2 million Shiba Inu coins.
Bitcoin's on a rise, man. That's all.
Yeah,
that
dude,
really
shit's been
matters.
popping up. So I'm about even now, and I'm just waiting for if it hits a dime,
Yeah.
I'm set.
Yes.
I'm buying a car and a house.
You think it's gonna rise again to that point?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you said
Not a
Shiba
chance.
Emu. I know Bitcoin is
Emu.
like Inu.
We should make one
Emu.
Shiba Emu though.
Yes,
Doug.
dude.
It's like a dog bird.
Shiba Inu.
And Doug.
Oh, I'm and Doug. Yeah.
That's
I want Shiba Inu.
I wonder, like Bitcoin rose again, but I wonder if like the smaller coins are making a comeback
Dude,
after
they all
Ethereum.
essentially rise and fall in the same pattern. I mean, there are
Oh, yeah.
exceptions, but when one goes up, they tend to all go up.
Outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, I don't pay attention. But
Yeah. I know it's there's like a sea of, and
Heavy
then
hitters.
you had like a whole 10-year time span that they were just like pumping and dumping all these coins, and people still bought into and still put their life savings into it, and they're like, it's a chance you gotta take. And they take everything they had and are like whining about it a little bit. And I'm like, I feel you, that sucks. You did take a gamble on something that was fictitious.
Yeah.
But I mean, try
they
again.
do it with tech stocks and subsidiaries
Absolutely.
and all that kind of shit. Every day, it's just this one wasn't federally backed. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
And they say that with that, like the last fucking 10 to 15 years has been nothing but a speculation. So they've been putting like these stocks have just rose like astronomically, yet they're not producing what they're worth. They're just projected to be worth something. And I'm like, yeah, it's a game. It's all a fucking game.
yeah, that's what a 10-year bill is.
Yeah.
It's a projection of what the amount you put down will be worth in 10 years.
Shit.
That's
Well, maybe after 10 years.
a T-note or a T-bill or whatever they call it.
When did you put yours in?
I don't know. A few months
Wow.
ago.
Oh, okay. You got a little bit of time then.
Yeah.
A little
And,
bit.
10 years. A little bit.
and Bitcoin or
No.
okay,
I was riding high on Doge for a while.
yeah.
I made a few hundred there. But now I've put like $25 into Shiba Inu. And I figure even if in like 10 years
Yeah.
it hits like a nickel,
Yeah,
like,
fuck it.
there we go.
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
I'm just going to leave it alone. I have no intent of selling it. Because I mean, it's like, fuck it. If I lose $25, I lose $25.
Right.
Probably better.
But if I
than
make
usually.
$25,
Fucking
lot better.
balling going to Taco
So-
Bell.
yeah.
Twice.
I know you're all not really into gambling, or you don't really talk about it that much if you are. But
No.
like, what sense does it make to like go all in on gambling for football, but when it comes to college basketball, March Madness, you just cold turkey and say I'm not going to do it?
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand that.
Who doesn't do March Madness?
Our friend Zach,
Oh,
Oh, he don't do
what a
it at all?
stupid bitch.
he's not doing March Madness at all.
I feel like there'd be a lot of money in March Madness.
Yes,
There's
dude.
tons
Yeah.
of money in
You know,
March
maybe he's
Madness.
been burned too many times.
Maybe he doesn't understand
way
basketball.
up. He is way up.
On,
Yes, well, I mean,
on
he
just gambling
understands football. College basketball is
different.
wildly unpredictable.
Yeah.
The man has made a spreadsheet of every championship team in the known NCAA. He
Yeah.
knows college basketball.
Yeah, well, he knows its history, but it's harder to predict. Because you have a 16 seed that can stomp a number one
all the time.
occasionally.
We're not too occasionally here. It's happened like 3 times.
Has
See?
he ever said why he's not going to?
But then in football, you got like a number 1 seed losing to an 8 seed. It could happen at any moment.
Hence gamble.
Hence gamble.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't fucking bring myself to do it. I've done, a
also
lottery
fuck
ticket here and
couch.
there, but
Yeah.
I can't take the anxiety and the stress of knowing like I either gave up my money or I won a free ticket or I gave up my money. Like, it's really the only option that I've ever had. It's just odd. It's too anxiety inducing to me to gamble. I'm like, I'm not with this.
Yeah.
If I had better odds, maybe. Because some people play. The odd thing is, like, now you go to a casino, it's much different. It used to be spinning wheels and bright lights. Now it's all screens,
Yeah, bright lights.
computers.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're going to trust a computer deciding chance for you?
I trust
Right.
computers more than people.
Do you, though? To not steal from you?
Yeah.
Like all your money?
Who made those computers?
other computers.
Other
Oh shit!
robots for sure.
Well, I didn't think about that. No, I don't know, man. I don't really gamble that much.
I know. It's
Except
when I
when I
can't
leave
get
the
around.
house.
So
Heyo.
every day maybe.
That life gamble.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is he secretly going to the
what
casino
you're
or
doing.
is he playing a risk with it? It doesn't matter.
Driving
Yeah.
110 everywhere you go.
Hell yeah.
Gamble.
Gamble.
Yeah.
Great tacos.
Are you really
Yeah.
What?
driving 110 miles an hour?
Not since
Not now.
the COVID restrictions were lifted.
Yeah.
Now there's actual consequences for it. It's like, fuck it, I
Yeah.
got-
No, it was awesome because I was thinking like that's exactly how fast I would go
Yeah.
to work.
For
But I'd be
some
drinking a
reason,
beer on the way.
I was gonna say like with alcohol in your system, but that's the 110 has stuck in my brain. I think
Yeah.
about it regularly.
Yeah.
Oh, you get
The
you get
idea is
two
crazy.
you get 2 promotions and you just act brand new now.
Yeah, dude.
No
I do what I
110 to
want.
the. Now you're a new person.
All right, I don't have 3 separate questions, but I have a group question.
Ooh.
I like
Fight
those.
over who answers it.
In
Yeah.
2030, we will have probes entering the atmosphere of Jupiter's moon, Titan.
Yeah.
Titan is known to have water and mercury, but it's liquid mercury or methane. It is proposed that there will be life. If they do find it, what will it look like? Or will they find it?
Oh, interesting.
2030.
I think they will, but it'll be microbial life.
Damn you! That's what I was gonna say. It's
Very
gonna
It's
be
gonna
basic.
look like
But-
a rock if a rock was puke.
absolutely. The cat puked straight liquid today, all over the linoleum. It was like.
What does that have to do with this question?
I'm saying that shape is what it's gonna look like.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
You lead with that and then tell them what the puke look like.
No,
No? Okay,
No.
cool. I was just
I like
wondering.
to set up the stage.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's
No, you
nasty.
don't.
No, I don't. I hate it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think we're gonna have like anthropomorphic kind of aliens before then, and then nobody will care.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Look at all that money we wasted. We got a fucking alien over here."
I don't know, the concept of a non-carbon life form or like a methane life form or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
Nobody's
What
gonna
would
want to
that
be
look
around it. Don't you bring that back?
What if it's
Right.
just tiny flames? Bunch of
Little
little
baby
flames
flame.
moving around.
Flames,
Yo.
yeah.
They there's I forget where it's at though. There are these puddles of water on the planet.
What's that got to do with
They're
this?
full of acid. they're like acid pools. They're like just straight acid, and they found microbial life in the harshest of conditions. And I
Yeah.
don't know where that is. I'll fucking think about it and I'll tell you. But
Neptune.
no, it's on Earth.
Oh, okay.
And they live there, and a lot of people go there to study, like archaeologists and shit,
Yeah.
because it's absurd that anything would make it and live within this environment, but they do. And they're like different colors too. They're like green and red and orange and shit. I mean, they're fucking wicked looking, but
Yeah,
yeah, they found microbial life, so maybe
that's
Possible.
kind of cool.
I would say that. Or they're gonna take the alien that we've had here for a very long time to that place. They're gonna bring
Give
him back.
life.
No, they'll just bring his ass back and be like, you gotta pretend like you haven't been here this whole time.
they dip him in the methane bath.
Yeah, now we can finally put you out there and make money for us.
Yeah. What do you think it'll look like?
I don't know. I'd like to think it would be like a fish man. But I don't know.
Statistically, it will.
Yeah. A fish man.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
think
still
it'll be
upset
friendly?
nobody's like invented like the artificial gill. Like we got fish
I mean,
that put oxygen into their own bloodstream. Why can't we like artificially create that for us to
Isn't
just
that just
swim?
like a colostomy bag attached to your lungs?
No.
interesting.
Well, I mean, it's a membrane divider that takes the oxygen out of the water and puts it into your bloodstream so you can breathe.
Clearly, I don't understand breathing.
A gill underwater. It's not. I hate you.
What does
So-
Kendall Gill have to do with any of this?
It's Vince gill. Thank you very much.
So that place is called Delol in Ethiopia, and it looks like, I mean, it looks wicked.
What?
Yeah.
It's a fucking wicked thing.
Because I was picturing juggalos when you said wicked.
Yeah,
That's
I would say.
crazy.
That's right.
It looks like the Wizard of Oz when color has hit.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know there are a buttload of Wizard of Oz books?
Yeah.
Right?
Look, here they are. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
I had no clue.
Because I thought, oh, the Wizard of Oz, based on a book.
It's like one dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One book. No, there's like 20 of them.
Yeah, I wanna read all of
It's
approximately.
like Mary Poppins and the Dune books. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
And I don't have one of them. It's ridiculous.
I've only read like one or two of them.
Are they good?
Tell me, Seth.
Yeah.
They're fine.
I did listen to a podcast the other day that was talking about like 19th century literature, and it has a lot of like our colloquialisms or general sayings that we use today that you wouldn't expect.
That's awesome.
Like one of them started with a character sitting down going, "What's up?"
Get out. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to listen to that.
Did they talk about that dank?
that dank.
No dank.
What's up? I brought a dank.
Oh, shit!
Keeping it 100.
Hope we're,
That's pretty cool.
hope we're a long way from having to explain those. The keep it 100 are there's a lot of new ones now that just don't make no sense.
No.
I'm just like, do we have to change all this shit? Can't we just like wait for a little while till I'm dead?
Just wait a little
Yeah.
while.
Grandpa wants you to slow it down, kids.
The odd thing to me is like, you know, like there'll be like no cap or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you just have like little white fucking private school kids in the burbs talking as if they're from like, and I get it, like you're free to do whatever you want, but you sound like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's not your culture, it's not your whatever. Like you sound stupid.
Ethnic minorities, the only ones allowed to have slang.
No, but the con that they're using, I think, is very specific to that ethnic group. I think it's theirs.
I
They
was
can
thinking
have
the
it.
answer was yes.
Yeah.
I just think
Maybe.
white culture is like the black hole. It just absorbs and destroys all.
Yeah, dude.
everything.
We're jacked when people come around with culture because they're like, we
Oh,
want to be a part
yeah.
of this.
I want to say that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it, and then
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
Joke killer. No, I was talking the other day at work. My daughter's school had a 2-hour delay for wind.
Oh, the wind.
And I mentioned, like, in high school, we had a situation where a gas plant that was right next to our school, maybe 2 blocks away,
Yeah.
exploded.
Yeah.
There was a literal column of fire that shot from the ground
Yeah.
and stayed ignited for, like, hours.
Yeah.
Do you all remember that?
Yeah, I do. I forgot all about it.
No? Damn it. Okay.
Well, let's see if we can
I
find
fell
it.
off an SUV.
I got called the old man yelling at a
I
cloud
did
because
drugs.
I was like, no, I'm back in my day.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a delay. We
course
went to
not.
school.
Yeah, you go
Did
to
you all
school.
actually have to go? And it was
yeah.
oh shit.
They're like, it's 20
Our,
feet
our
away.
bus
You're
drove
fine.
past it.
Oh,
Like
even
the building
better.
was right here. The column of fire was right here. The road was on the other side. We
So
went
good.
straight by it.
it's so good.
You mean the idea of for wind?
Oh.
Fucking no! Shut it down for a tornado.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is wind, but
But not
If it's
wind
not-
wind.
Yeah.
Substantially more wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, we can't do it.
I've
know-
never seen that.
No,
It's
I
so
haven't
Well, I
weird.
think JCPS closed for like inclement weather, but ours was
That's
just a
just-
2-hour
Wind.
delay.
It's a
because of
wind
wind.
that-
Teachers are
Advisory.
fucking lazy.
Yeah, that's wild shit.
They get enough of them to vote to cancel school. They do. 'Cause now that they just get the kids on the computer. And they do it.
Put in Mr. Holland's Opus. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
We watched that movie a lot.
Movie day.
Yeah. We watched it in band all the time. That's what Miss Scott would put on if
Yep.
she had something to do.
Or she didn't feel like doing anything.
Yeah. Didn't she like choreograph line dancing or something for people? And
Yep.
when she had like a thing she had to do and wasn't done, she'd make us watch that and she'd do her shit.
It was either that or Amadeus. It's actually had a scene with breasts in it.
Hell yeah.
Get out of here. See, I don't remember Amadeus. She
That was
must
in
have
middle school,
phased
I
that
think.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like Amadeus but I don't remember the boobs because I wasn't paying attention.
He
to the
he like
movie.
chases this chick in a room and like rips off her top, and yeah, then he
Hell
gets
yeah.
caught, so nothing happens. But
The good old days.
middle school
Yeah,
movage.
yeah, dude. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, this wind does get crazy. I mean, it'll be like 50, 60 miles an hour, but I can't imagine shutting school down for it.
I know. It's like the schools aren't built to withstand it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, these weak ass legged kids are gonna fall over.
We just hot glued it. It's plywood.
God.
It'll survive.
Quit skipping leg day in gym.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. I think everything's wrong with the world. Mostly with just the kids. Anybody over 30, they've got it together.
Yeah.
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 94.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Everybody's doomed, D.
I don't know why the 90s were so different. Do they feel like different to you all?
Absolutely.
Because they were.
But I mean, I don't see why like things just pivoted at that point. It was weird. I don't know.
It was the 90s. It was essentially just society was dictated by edgelords.
I wouldn't say edgelords, but yeah.
Yeah. And now
Like,
it's like
people are sick of the Reaganism and just like fuck
Yeah.
that. Let's go chaos.
Yes.
And then like you don't like it. Well, I'm gonna say it because you don't like it. And if you don't like it, you're the one with the problem.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
now
dude.
is a reaction to that, where like everybody was so in your face about stuff and shit could fly. And now everybody's all delicate, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to. So then the next generation, they'll be like, no,
They're already like, no.
you fucking pussies.
We have Karen as a thing in this society already.
That's true. Karens do tend to just be bitches. I found there's an Instagram page. It's Karen's getting mildly injured, I think is what it is.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I crushed my finger.
but it's good. I
That
like
makes me
Karen's
think
getting
of I got this guy at work that he thrives. I'd say he's almost addicted to like rage bait, and he gets on like Reddit posts that like, "Am I the asshole?" and just yells for like 20 to 30 minutes straight about how ridiculous and the sheer nerve of this person and burn about him.
Why you like
And it's
shit
like,
that doesn't
why-
exist in your world?
right.
Fuck your day
What,
up.
dude? Like, calm down. It's okay. It didn't happen to you.
Yes.
But it
You
happened
were
at
not
all.
affected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. It's a weird way to be.
It's rage bait, and then people get addicted to it. I don't get it.
Yeah, that guy gets consumed in it.
Yeah.
Like it's part of him.
Like he gets in it too. He gets heated.
I love those posts, but I can't imagine letting them like rule my day.
Right.
I even try to like actively pull myself. If I have like a reaction where I'm pissed off at like whatever's going on, even the videos where obviously there's a wrong party and shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, you got to pull yourself away from that. Like it doesn't involve me. I do have an opinion, but I'm not gonna yell it at people. You know?
I know. Yeah,
It's weird.
that doesn't.
I have had like bans put on me like you're not allowed to watch this and
Yeah.
Who puts the bands on you?
couch.
You gotta listen to that piece of shit?
Well,
He
I
doesn't even
go,
bet on college basketball.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
I go into wormholes and I yell at people that some people may agree with, and you know.
Yeah, I have a habit of that. Well, I have a habit of doing this. Recently, I picked up this podcast because I kept getting shorts of it, and I'm like, I gotta go watch the like long form of this, and then see why it's so big because it's a very popular podcast. I'm like, I don't.
Joe Rogan?
fucking- No, it's the Whatever podcast. The Whatever podcast, and it's like a social
Joe
experiment and shit. It's weird, dude, and it seems like the guy just deliberately gets like weak-minded, weak-spirited women on the show to berate them with this other older dude and right-wing conservatives and things. It's very weird because he's young. Everybody's on the show is young. They're usually OnlyFans models and things, so it's like deliberate nonsense. But I told Sarah, I was like, I want to understand if there's something here. And only like a couple times I'm like, oh, well, you have a whole table of intelligent people, right? One time. I've seen that. But after I understood what it was like, oh, okay, I can stop watching it. And I haven't watched it since. But I needed to understand because they're from a younger like generation and stuff, and what they're going through matters, And I was like, I don't quite get this. And once I did, I was like, I have my thoughts about it, but I just didn't push them. I just wanted it. I was curious. But you have to learn. You have to pull yourself away. It's hard though sometimes.
Like
They make it easy.
I listen to this one guy on YouTube, and he does like a video every month. And I think I've sent a few of them to you, Sarah. But like he gets into those like edgelords and like the manosphere and like stuff like that, and it's just like, man, man, these people are fucking vicious. Because they start with like a Peterson, like. Wake up, do your chores, take care of yourself, just, eat meat, whatever he spouts on about. And it's like that's where it starts. But then it just slowly tilts into like anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi, women hating, and just slowly decays. It's not pretty at all.
I have customers that are like that. They're like usually like older white males. And it's like they're great at first, man, and it starts to devolve quickly. Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a gateway or whatever it is, but apparently like the younger you start hearing it, the worse it is. Like the longer you stay in it, the more like radicalized you become and stuff. Yeah, it's
God forbid you like agree with one little sentiment of theirs, and then they're all off to the races. It's like, oh fuck.
That's where I got that terminology of like there are people there that use it for what they enjoy, and then there's like the not users, the clique, or the I forget the term. Sorry, but
That's
the people that are
rough,
like become radicalized because of it.
Yes.
And it's super easy. I think somebody said that the people that don't believe that they can be radicalized or are controlled usually can be controlled easier.
They're like the most controlled.
Yeah, I see that a lot with like the QAnon movement that happened, and a lot with that kind of group of people. Like they can be controlled because they've picked these very basic instincts of theirs, and they played on every single one of them hardcore, and without knowing it, they fucking got them quick.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning.
Yep. Oh, you don't trust the government? Well, let me tell you about QAnon.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Fucking join this. That's what I always worried about, like joining. I have family members that join cults, and I always wonder, like, could they get me in a cult?
Oh,
Maybe. I would just say I think I'm
I think
susceptible.
anybody is susceptible to becoming in a cult. Absolutely.
See being in
Like,
a cult.
I actually saw a
I wanna be
documentary.
in
I would say
start
Ian
one.
is in one. I think.
I saw a documentary of like people essentially shutting down the Hollywood Boulevard or the Vegas location of the Scientology church.
Oh yeah.
Because all they do is just day after day stand out in front of it and be like, this is a cult.
Yes.
This guy's name is Roger. He's going to talk to you. If he tries to get you inside the building, you will be joining a cult.
Yes. God, I want to be
like-
a part of that.
Like people like go out and YouTube live stream every day to keep people away from it. It's
They
like-
know his first name and shit, and the people at the desk.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
front,
the recruiters, they're like, yeah, they know him. They know him by name.
And then he'll guess what they had him do when he was in there. He was like, he took $60 from you.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
nothing, right? That's fucked
Was it
up.
the $49 entry fee? Yeah.
Yes.
That would suck.
I still need to read Dianetics.
Don't.
I'm gonna.
God, I tried reading
do you
it
want
in
it?
high school.
Yeah.
I have a copy.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Thanks.
I
man.
just could not. My head was like, none of these, like I know each of these words, but when you put them in this order, it didn't make any sense to me. I could not understand it. Maybe I could now.
It's
but-
like everything else. It starts out like, okay, that's kind of logical. Okay, well, it's a little outlandish, but okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
See, yeah, because I mean,
No.
I always had like a passing interest in it. I thought, yeah, let's see what's in it. But now that I know that like he was hanging out with Jack Parsons and shit while they were doing that, and now I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to read this shit. See what's going on there.
I want to live on a boat,
Yes.
call myself captain, enslave half of my followers through a law-binding contract.
got that
For
contract.
99, or what is it, 999 years of
Yeah,
some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yo, and that's the thing too. I think once you get too far in, you're on the sixth book and it's telling you like cut off your penis and things. You're kind of too far in to
Yeah,
not
June.
do it.
You're like,
You
You're
know?
not
Makes
gonna need
sense,
it
yeah.
where you're going.
Yeah.
Or
You're gonna be
even
like,
then, you'll be like, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm still okay with everything else.
yeah, we don't practice
Everything else is
everything.
Yeah,
great.
right.
Even Christian.
We're in Orthodox here.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a rough one. I think a lot of people are like, hey, fuck, you get up to 50 and you believed in Christianity your entire life, but all these signs were there that it might not be, probably not true, right?
Yeah.
You kind of can't give up on it. You're like, oh, my kids believe it. I believe it. What we going to do here, fellas?
I got a story for after the podcast relating to
Woo.
that.
Taco time.
Taco
Taco
time.
time. Well, dude,
Way to
Danny,
shut
I
it
appreciate
down,
you.
G.
Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate you joining us again, man. Thank you for
Always,
taking the
yeah.
time out.
I enjoy making the podcast longer and
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
making you suffer for not having tacos.
It's enjoyable.
My stomach's growling. I hate you, Dana.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Sarah. This was episode
welcome.
168, the Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.
One too soon.
Whoop.
You can be on next time.
Wildly Uninteresting Podcast. You're right, he does.